All right, good evening to you, dear friends on Facebook and on YouTube. My name is Anu Ojo, and I welcome you all to today's special program. And when I mean special program, I mean today is a special program. Well, the Nigerian presidential election just concluded, and we got the final results. And a lot of things have happened after that. And you would know that Dr. Sunday Adelaja has not been in any way silent as regards the politics and the election in Nigeria. And because of his active contribution to the presidential election of 2019, many people have had questions and many people have had worries. So we've been having a post-presidential election discussion for some time now. I mean, we had one yesterday, and today we'll be continuing. But today's session is going to be different. As you can see on your screen, we'll be talking about why DSA. Okay, let's read it together. DSA, why are you so controversial? People have described him as a troublemaker. Well, I'm sure just that title today would make a lot of us very curious to hear what Dr. Sunday has to say about this. And not only Dr. Sunday will be speaking today, as you can see, we have another guest today who will be speaking and asking Dr. Sunday a lot of questions. He will be standing to represent a vast majority of Nigerians who have this question, who will actually say to Dr. Sunday that you are controversial. Why are you condemning? Do you have the ministry of condemnation? Why are you pulling down all of the pastors in Nigeria? Why? All those questions. Well, you're going to get a lot of answers today. So I want to encourage you all to please go ahead and share. Like we always say, share, share, share. It would be great to have everybody on board today. All right, so at this point, I would like to introduce my brother and friend. I'm sure he's not a strange face to our DSA family members. He's not that person, but Bro Tope. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ano. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, viewers.
All right, so Dr. Sunday, I would like you to say a word of address to our viewers also.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm battle ready. I want to begin to answer your questions.
All right. So, well, Dr. Sunday will be answering a lot of questions today. And as you heard him say, he's battle ready. Once again, I would like to announce the title of today's discussion. It is on the theme there, DSA, why are you so controversial? And why are you a troublemaker? So, I was about to say Dr. Tope. Well, Tope, I'm sure you have the questions ready. And
Tope na dazela gromshe imeya Tope imeya for anu normal Tope.
Yeah. So all right. So let's start with the first question. Let's throw it at him immediately.
Yeah. Thank you very much. As much as I love Pastor, there are many things I still don't understand because because as a Nigerian, I love to be expressive. I've lived in Nigeria. I understand how the people think. I understand how they feel things. I understand how they are pained. So I cannot be an hypocrite.
How they are pained.
Yes.
Okay.
So I cannot pretend not to understand how people back at home feel, especially when you talk about a lot of these issues. And personally, I've been under the administration of the DGO. That's
Pastor
Pastor Edepo. I've even been to the experience, Pastor Paul Adefarasi. So I don't feel very comfortable when Pastor goes all out to talk them down in a way, though he has his points. I love his wisdom. I appreciate the grace of God that is upon his life and the anointing of God that he has. I know he's an anointed man of God, but he won't stop being a troublemaker, so to speak. Yes, and I say that with all due respect, but it's something he could have said too. So I know I don't match up to his level of intelligence, and if there's anything like Grace Mate, I know he has delved into the depth of God and he knows a lot better. But things I don't understand, he has taught us to question, and that's why I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions.
Right.
And the first question now is going to be about Nigeria. I want to know, Pastor Sunday, your prediction about the presidential polls. The polls outcome have been right so far. I understand that you've been very fortunate.
Fortunate, okay.
Because maybe you did your homework very well. You were good with the augury, with all of your predictions. So how do you get to be right? Is this due to your intellectual permutations or spiritual endowment?
Okay, first of all, I have a book that is called Why Am I Unlucky? Why Am I Not Lucky? In that book, I affirmed, like many before me have affirmed, that the only people who get to be lucky in life are the people who are better prepared than the other people. And the only reason they are lucky is because they work 18 hours a day, while other people are waiting for luck to come to them out of favor of God or out of some spiritual realm. So if I'm lucky with the predictions of the 2019 election that Buhari will win, and he won, and you call that luck, like many other people are, I read the comments, that's what they say. They say I was just lucky. So how come I'm the only one who is lucky all the time? How come I got lucky also in 2015 when I predicted also that Jonathan was going to lose? So I don't think it is luck. There are a combination of things, and especially two that will interest us today. The first thing that makes me to be lucky like that is the fact that I am a friend of God. Either Nigerians like to believe it or they don't like to believe it, but I am a friend of God. And that is exactly what all my activities of Facebook is all about. I want to teach Nigerians how to not just become a friend of God, but how to develop personal relationship with God. God brought me out of Nigerian Christianity when I was 19, and I was only 6 months in the Lord. And he taught me all these years what it means to have personal relationship with God. That is one thing I have. I might not have any other thing, but that is what I have. I might not have prophecy or the gift of prophecy. I might not be prophesying. I might not be able to preach. I might not be able to do what Nigerians do. But what I know is that I have personal relationship with God. I'm a friend of God. I walk with God. I walk one-on-one with God. And that is what I am coming to online to tell believers, that everybody can develop personal relationship also with God on their own. Everybody can have personal relationship with God. And when they have that personal relationship with God, they become friends of God, then they will be able to know things without even prophesying, just because they walk with God. That is number one. Number 2 point that I'm trying to make, or what makes me lucky, is that the Nigerian pastors make me lucky. Nigerian pastors they don't have relationship with God. They have religion. All those people you are mentioning, they have religion. They have the order. They have the, what do you call it? They have, the system, the structure, the crowd, but they don't know God. They don't have personal relationship with God. And that is why they are not teaching personal relationship with God, because you cannot give what you don't have. So they make me lucky. So you are talking that I'm lucky with my predictions is because they don't have personal relationship with God, so they're always wrong. And when they are wrong, it makes me look lucky. Okay? Because I know that whenever they go right, God goes left. Whenever God goes left, they are always going right. So that is another point. But of course, I don't use the word that God told me or I got a prophecy. I just know because I'm working with God. And if you listen to my teachings on how to know God through the Holy Spirit, this is one of the points I mentioned there. How do you hear the voice of God? How do you know God? How does God speak to you? How do you so those are already there in my series on how to know God through the Holy Spirit. Now, you also ask, is it because of my intellectual capacity? No, by intellectual capacity, you don't always, there is no way you can know the future by intellectual capacity. You can only predict and guess. But when it comes to the election of Buhari and Jonathan, I said, I know Atiku will lose. So that is more than intellectual. But what I do is that I first of all find out from God in my relationship with God, just on one-on-one, not prophecy, just because I have relationship with him. And after that, I go ahead and do my research. So first of all, I let the Spirit of God go before. You know, when anybody that has listened to my prayer series, we know that what I taught there is prayer allows us to see what God sees and what God wants to do. Okay, so I first of all see what God is doing, and then I go ahead and do research to confirm what God, not what I want, but what God has already told me. I then do research just to affirm that.
Okay, thank you for the response. But if you're saying now that your relationship with God has helped you to really predict the election results, your relationship with God, has it been able to reveal to you now how brilliantly Buhari will perform in the next 4 years?
No, that I don't need the relationship with God for that. I can tell just by research. So it's a little bit different now. So it's also concerning the future, but in this case, you can look at trends and tendencies. So I know that Buhari will perform better than he did in the first part, in the first term, first term. Yeah. So he's going to do better just because he had laid the foundation, number one. Number two, also because we came in when recession was going down. The economy was going down in recession. It was sliding. But now it has been, that sliding process has been stopped and is now being reversed. It's now being reversing to the growth tendency. And that next level that we're expecting is for it to keep on growing. So I know for sure that they will do better than they did before.
Okay, some people also feel that your support for Buhari was sentimental, with the understanding that you have a Shibajo, yes, as a friend and a spiritual protege.
Yes. So
what do you have to say to that?
Well, yes, 10 years, 10 years now, I've been in relationship with Oshibajo. But after he was elected as the 2015 Vice President of Nigeria, I cut relationship with him because I started criticizing him. Don't you know that I'm the one who criticized him and used that he was using comb and I spread it on television live, like the live broadcast. Don't you know that right now, even recently when his helicopter fell, that I'm the one who criticized him and said, why should he be saying be the God of my father Adeboye? I came here online to criticize him. So friendship for me doesn't negate truth. And I've not been talking to him. I've not spoken to him in 3 years. When he got elected, I spoke to him, congratulated him, we spoke a little bit, but I've not been in relationship with him after that. So it's not because of a person. My own, okay, I just know him. But my own brother, my own senior brother in Nigeria, is a PDP man, secretary of a local government. But, I would not agree. You didn't agree with me, I don't agree with me. But, so I am not, we're not going to, it's not because of man. Anybody that knows me knows that I try to initiate my actions, first of all, from heaven. I always, if you have really studied Pastor Sunday very well, you will know that even my teachings is heaven driven. I'm always talking about kingdom. And in my theology is that everything you have to do, let thy will be done, first of all, let thy will be done on earth as it was in heaven, first of all. So that's how I live my life. I try to imitate heaven, first of all, to bring the will of God that is in heaven to the earth. That is my principle. And in this case as well, even in every little case, that is the same situation.
Yeah, some believers already believe that God is preparing the seat for Shibajo to govern the nation. Just the way Yaradua left the seat for Jonathan, a lot of people are insinuating that the same pattern could be repeated this time, that Buhari could leave the seat for Shibajo. Do you think this is a possibility?
I will pray that it's a possibility. And the reason I will pray that it's a possibility is because we already all see the way Osinbajo is trying his best and his capacity. And so if he becomes the next president, I think it's going to be it's going to be the first time when the university professor will be a president of Nigeria, and it's going to be the most educated president of Nigeria so far. And the way he has been performing, even right now, you can say that is a lot by the force behind the Buhari administration. The two of them are people of integrity. Buhari is a person of high integrity, but Osinbajo too is a person of a high integrity.
Yeah, some people also think that you're a bombastic reformer.
Yes.
And you've said that your first 10 years in Nigeria, you changed the nation.
Yes.
They believe that you're being presumptuous.
Yes.
So do you think this is a possibility if Nigeria were to be handed over to you right now? Mm-hmm. Are you saying you're able to transform the nation to a first-class nation within the first 10 years?
No. But what I will be able to do in the first 10 years is to put the country on a rail, to influence the country in such a way that the country will begin to go in the right direction. So it is not about what I'm able to do or what I'm able to accomplish myself or in my lifetime, but it is about what I'm able to trigger. So by the grace of God, by the time I'm in Nigeria for 10 years, everybody will begin to see the change, visible change, more than what we have seen during Buhari right now. It will be so visible that nobody Nigerian will be running away, will try to run away. They will see possibilities, they will see improvement, they will see growth, they will see, development. But it's still going to be a process. The plan that I have for Nigeria is for 50 years. So, but in the first 10 years, we would have moved and shifted the nation in such a way that it will be impossible for everybody now to begin to see the difference and the changes. So I'm not talking about myself. It's going to be a whole team of people. I might be one of the leaders of that movement, but it's going to be a whole bunch of people that we're coming together and that God is prepared and is preparing to be able to handle the challenge of Nigeria. So, but it's not by might and it's not by power. And it's also not being presumptions, like you said. So it could look that I'm just being presumptions, but also you have to look at what I've done. And you have to also look at what I have on the ground. For example, when I talked about one of the reasons why I didn't support the young presidential aspirants like Sowore or Moghalu is that even though Moghalu wrote a book about his plans for Nigeria, but it's all theoretical. They are all coming from the universities, that the things he got from Harvard, from the Yale, from different places. They are all from textbooks. They are textbook reformation, nothing practical. But with Sowore, for example, nothing like that. He just wrote political program, but no blueprint, no master plan. So no concrete system and structure on how to transform a nation. They don't have an idea of what it is. Same thing with APC now. They don't have an idea. They are just doing repairs and they are doing their best, but they don't know what it takes. So by the grace of God, I have a plan, and that plan is for 50 years of how to transform Nigeria. Now, I'm not going to be a president. I am not going to be a politician. I don't plan to be, but that is a problem also, because if I would not have any political power or influence, those politicians might be a stumbling block, including the people who are there right now, who knows them. Because I don't know what they will think about what I will bring to the table. But I'm believing God that, we'll be able to surmount the challenge. That is the only challenge I'm having. How the politicians will react to what I want to do. And I hope they will not be a stumbling block to me.
Yeah, in one of your books too, you talked about, that's the book, How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the
American Economy.
You said that over $20 trillion
yes,
have been siphoned from the economy, has been stolen from the coffers, from the treasury in the last 45 years, from 1960 to 2005.
Yes.
So what workable strategy can this present administration put in place to curb corruption?
There are a lot of them, many of them. In that book, How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the American Economy, I spoke about them at length, but not everything. There are some things I couldn't put in that book because they are secret, and they are, they shouldn't be exposed so that people would not work against it. But if that book answers that question, that book answers that question. But if we could all come together and understand that corruption is a monster that we all must kill. And first of all, the first thing that has to be done is there has to be the awareness of what corruption is and how corruption has deprived the whole of Nigerian people, our future and our present. So there must be, the first thing that must be done by the administration is not just to talk about corruption. I just repeat the word corruption, we fight the corruption. People don't understand it, and it becomes irritating to ordinary people. But let them read the book. Oshibajo needs to read that book. Buhari needs to read that book. How the Nigerian economy can overtake American economy. They need to read that book so that they will see the way and the strategy I imply in that book to communicate the evil of corruption. That is what they are supposed to, the strategy they are supposed to use, and it will work even much more effectively, I suppose.
I understand that you always try to be as objective as you can be in all issues. I want to know if you are opportune to be in Nigeria now, will your perception and perspective on issues remain the same when you see the reality of poverty and lack and insecurity that the Nigerian populace are challenged with? Are you still going to have the same perception? Are you still going to talk big like you talk right now if you are faced with the realities of lack and insecurity back home?
No, I cannot guarantee you how I'm going to behave and respond when I get to Nigeria and I'm faced with all the realities. I will not be able to say I'm going to be doing the same thing or saying the same thing. But one thing you could be sure of is that my faith will remain unwavering concerning the project and the task ahead of me, and the challenge and the plans that I have. Methods might change, strategies might even change, but the vision remains the same.
Okay, that brings me to the question, have you benefited from any politician or government in recent time or in the past?
Never. Maybe the only benefit you could say is that government gave me a plaque, or is it plaque you call it, or plague. Because as an outstanding citizen of Nigeria, that was during the Obasanjo regime. And maybe you also want to see it as a benefit that I was bringing investors to Nigeria, and I met with Jonathan, and I met with Obasanjo. Those are not benefits, those are just working process. So there's no benefit I've ever gained from Nigeria, apart from the fact that I was born there.
Okay, so what advice, what can you tell President Buhari to do better in the next 4 years?
First of all, they are starting and approaching the problem of the process of resolving Nigerian problem in the wrong way. They don't know that nations are built first of all on value system. But it seems to me that Buhari knows that, but he doesn't know how to bring it about through democracy or in a democracy. Because he tried to do it when he was a military general. He tried to enforce moral. He even established a program that was called War Against Indiscipline. Now, it is the same thing. It's a process, or it's an attempt to establish value system in the country. When, we all like to talk about Singapore and how they became the first world from the third world. But one of the main things that Singapore did to be able to transform the country when they started the process is that they discovered that the country and the people lacked value systems. So they started establishing the school of character. In every street, school of character, just like we have churches now. But these are school of character, only teaching people values from the age of 3 to the age of 80. How people must behave, to one another, how to respond to every life situation in a civilized way, just to change their value system. So that is what I think that this country is not doing. President, does talk about the fact that Nigerians must fight corruption or they must behave better. Vice President also talks about it, but they are not putting a system in place. They are not putting a structure in place to make Nigeria, to make value system a part of a fabric, a part of the Nigerian fabric, national structure. Because nations are great not because of the virtue of their wealth, but because of the wealth of their virtues. So nations are great not because of the wealth, because of the virtue of their natural resources, of their wealth. That is not what brings nations greatness. That's not what brings about national greatness. What brings about national greatness is the wealth of their virtues, how wealthy they are in virtues. Look at Europe, for example, or America, any country. They don't have religion. They don't go to church. Some of them don't even have natural resources. But if they don't even need to be believers, but in their system, they are wealthy in values and virtues. They are sensitive to people. They give benefit of the doubt. They know that to cheat is wrong. They are trying to be sincere, even though they don't have the Holy Spirit, they don't have God, they don't have anything. But the whole system frowns at anything bad or anything against values. The whole fabric of the society is based on value system. And the laws are built in such a way that they are to establish, they are to confirm and support values. So anytime any law you say is talking about affirming one value or the other. So when you break any law, you are breaking a value system, and you are punished for it so much that it will not even come to your mind to try to do it next time. So even though people are still breaking laws, people are still corrupt in any country in the world, but they have been so minimized because the values and the virtues in the society have been elevated and been made known, that the value system and the power of values has been elevated above any individual. Even though we say the Western countries have rights, but there is something that is exalted above the people's rights. It is the law, the values that the laws are protecting. Laws are just protecting values. Laws are just attempts to establish values so that people don't violate it. So that when they violate certain values, then because it is a law, they will be punished for it. So it is value system that is established in all fabrics of the society. That is why we need law. But in our own country right now, laws are just for the people who don't have money or who don't have power. Law is just there, nobody even remembers it. People don't even are not aware of. For example, if you are living in the West, every little step you want to cross the road, you are first of all thinking, is it against the law here? You want to sign a contract, you are afraid of signing it because the constitution. But Nigerian people don't live with the awareness of law like that. You can just go and beat somebody in the street, beat your wife or something, or take somebody or kill another. You are not even aware of. You don't have value system that is guiding our society. Only individuals might have because of their families or because of their church, but the whole country as a whole, we are not a country of virtuous people. We are not a nation of values and virtues. But nations are great not because of raw materials. Nigeria now are more aware of raw materials. They talk more about raw materials than virtues and values. When I went to Nigeria one time in 2008, I think, or 2007, I gathered the most leading apostles in Nigeria. All of them were there. But when I was talking about value system, that is what Nigeria know, they didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't get it. They were just looking at me that I was talking as if I was speaking Russian or Chinese to them. These are Christians, pastors, even politicians. None of them got it. So it is value systems that this government or any government must first of all address. There is nothing more important than values. Nations are great, not thanks to the virtue of their wealth, not because of the virtues of their wealth, but because of the wealth of their virtues. If we could be people of virtues, if we could have standards, if we could have values, we will see the way. Okay, for example, the example is this same. I have somebody right now here in my house from Switzerland. Switzerland, that's where you have some of the biggest banks in the world. Now, they don't have raw materials, but how are they making their money? They are making their money due to the fact that all the people who steal money from countries like ours or any other country, they take their money and take them to Switzerland. And then by the time they take because we are putting them in fixed accounts, that money is being used to build their own country. And then the percentages they are getting also is enough for them to sustain their economy. So whereas we are the ones who created the money, who have the raw materials. So whenever you don't have values, the money will be moving from the countries where the money is to the country where values are. Because in the countries where the money was created or stolen, people are even afraid of keeping it there because other people will steal from them. So anywhere where there is no value system, money and wealth will always move from the countries where there are no values to countries where there are values. So money are coming to Switzerland, not just from Nigeria, but from all countries where there are no values. From Russia, from Bosnia, from Brazil, from Latin America, from all over the world, because they know that those things are safe. The same thing with the economy. Nigerians will go and buy things in houses, 200 houses in England, in Dubai. Why? Because they can trust. They know that things are protected, things work there. Why? Because values are there. So poverty will always increase. We're in a nation where there is no value system. But when there are value system in a society, that is what attracts investment. We all, in Nigeria, people always say, oh, we want foreign direct investment. Oh, we want FDI. We want, it has reduced, it has gone. They don't know what is responsible for it. What is responsible for foreign direct investment is, first of all, for you to be able to create a nation full of values, so that people can trust. Businessmen, they know that if they sign a contract with a Nigerian, they will never break. Or everything will always be reliable. People have peace of mind. People can depend on our people, on our law, on our society. That is what attracts people. That dependency, that assurance, that predictability, that peace of mind, that security. Those are the things that come. Not just by talking about it, they have to values. The difference between values and law is that the values has to be built into the consciousness of people, into the heart of people, into the culture of people. It has to become a lifestyle. Then the laws are just there to safeguard them.
Thank you. So talking about values, it reminds me of Christians being killed in the northern part of Nigeria. And you want to talk about the value of love. So how do you expect the Christians being killed in the northern part of Nigeria to react to their oppressors? Do you think you can truly respond in love to someone taking your life and your property away from you?
Yes.
What should be the true response? How can you respond in that kind of scenario?
I think that some of the people who have shown us the example of love are the Christians that are being killed in the northern part of Nigeria, because they show us love more than the Southerners that are talking only about it, that are using them for political gains. They are not the ones that are being killed, the ones in the South, but they are the ones talking about it. But then when it comes to going to take care of their families, when it comes to going to adopt the orphans that are left there, when it comes to going to take care of the widows that are in the North, they don't do it. The Southern Christians, they are not doing that. Or maybe they are doing it in a very small, minute way. When it comes to taking people who are in, what do you call it, the IDPs or internally displaced camps. When you see people in those internally camps, there is nobody that is supposed to be in IDPs in Nigeria with the amount of Christians we have. Where is our Christianity if they are there? There are over 2 million of them, and we have 40 million only Pentecostal Christians and 80 million Christians. So what is 2 million? Even if it is one by one, every family takes. It's over. We have 40 million, and there are only 2 million internally displaced. And they are in camps. They shouldn't be in those camps if we are really Christians. So what Nigerians do, and Nigerian Christians do, is to use people's plight to gain political advantages. That's exactly what they do in churches. When you say you have problem, they will say it is your mother or your stepmother or your grandfather that is dead. They take advantage of your plight. When you say you are sick, they say, okay, give your money or offering. They take advantage of your sorrow, of your problem. So the problem of killing in the north, it is a business for our pastors. It is a political gain for our pastors. It is an opportunity for them to win a political point. It is an opportunity for them to be able to talk and gain points, win political points, and try to do their own will. But really what they are supposed to be doing is to show their Christianity through their actions. Let us see their care of the widows and of the orphans and the people and the houses and villages that have been destroyed there. So I don't believe in the cheap talk of the southern Christians. And I think that the northern Christians, they have shown better form of Christianity to us because they don't respond the way southerners are trying to respond. They respond rather in love most of the time. Now, but I don't want to say it is right when we talk about Christians being killed in the north. If you are going to look at the situation of things in Nigeria, if you want to do things if you want to look at the nature of things in Nigeria, it is right now, during the time of Buhari's regime, more Muslims are now being killed in Nigeria than the Christians. It is during the time of Jonathan that we had more Christians who are being killed. But right now, it is now, even as we are talking right now, even the ones that are being killed latest in the Kaduna area, they are Muslims. In Katsina, in Nasarawa, most of them are Muslims now. So it is the Muslims that are being killed. So it doesn't really matter. Is it Christians that are being killed or Muslims that are being killed? It is bad. When there is insurgency like that, when there are killings like that, it is horrible and terrible in any case. And it's loss of life is a tragedy either way. And I don't see Buhari as the one killing them. And I don't see the APC government as the ones responsible for the killings. The killings started before them. The killings were there during Obasanjo's time. It was wars. And even Nigerian soldiers were killing people during Obasanjo's time too. Even during Jonathan's time, Nigerian people were killing our citizens in an attempt to fight insurgents. But now we are not hearing of that too much. But it has been reduced. So I see this APC government as people who have tried better than the Jonathan regime, the PDP regime, to reduce these insurgencies and the amount of killing. And I think they need to be given credit for that, not be falsely accused for what they have not done.
Yes, thank you, Pastor Sonny. I'm just trying my best to slake the curiosity of the Nigerian people regarding your position on several of these issues.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
Yes, now I want to know I believe that personal philosophy will always dictate and influence public behavior.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was able to learn that from you. So what is your philosophy of an ideal Nigeria and the Nigerian church that is influencing your current disposition? What do you consider to be?
No. What is mine?
What is your conception of an ideal nation, Nigeria?
Oh.
An ideal nation and the ideal Nigerian church that is influencing your present disposition.
Oh,
why
beautiful.
are you behaving like this? What do you expect? What's your picture of an ideal Nigerian church and an ideal nation?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. There is a series I did. It's called Urgent Measures to Rescue the African Church. Urgent Measures to Rescue the African Church. That is where I put together all my expectations and my belief system in regards to what the African church is supposed to look like. So I'm going to just mention a few of them right now, but it's a series of like maybe 30-something messages. So number one, my idea and conception of a church, and for Africa in particular, as a whole, and Nigeria, my conception of the church, what the church in Africa is supposed to look like, is number one, it's supposed to be a place from where help in the name of God, on behalf of God, is going out constantly to the most vulnerable, the most disenfranchised members of our society. So, for example, I expect every church in Nigeria to have a microfinance bank, whereby they say, because I live in this state or in this town or in this street or in this area, there is no widow or petty trader or a poor person who should not have money to do whatever he wants to do. Not the government. If the government will take over from there. That's what we have found out here in Ukraine. When we started the program, the government took over later on, because we were the light of the world. We shone the light. So that's one example. Number two, I expect that the churches in Nigeria will say, nobody in my town should go hungry. Therefore, feeding every person so that nobody in Nigeria experiences hunger. We have enough churches to be able to take care of that. But that's not what I'm saying. Next one, I expect the church in Nigeria to make sure that they empower every one of their members. They give economic empowerment to members of their churches, so much that businessmen and millionaires have been created from churches in Nigeria. And so that all these millionaires later on, they're going to build the society at large. Next point, I expect the church in Nigeria to empower every member to discover who they are in Christ Jesus and what they were sent here for. So much that so that the church is releasing engineers, inventors, innovators, is releasing professionals, because it's helping them to discover who they are and pushing them to fulfill their calling. But what I'm saying right now is that the church has become a coven, a prison yard, where they are holding down people so that they will not even think about their own calling, but they will only be thinking about the calling of the GO or their churches. So I expect the church in Nigeria to build schools that people attend for free. Primary, secondary, universities. That's what I expect. I expect the churches in Nigeria to love the Muslims, to go and build schools for them, to reach out to them, to even build, centers for them, anything they need, and to be an example of love to them. Like I said, I have 30-something messages, videos on this. So, and all my messages are mainly always talking about it. If you listen to my message that is called the series on how to love God through love, or how to love God and become how to love God and how to know God through love, how to know God and understand God through love. No, it's a love series. If you see that love series, it talks more about that as well.
Yes, your response now makes me, it brings to memory how you've alleged that you once had a conversation with Pastor Paul Adefarasi.
Yes.
And he said he couldn't sell his
he will not sell. He said he would not. It's not that he couldn't. It's different from he would not.
Okay. What I want to.
He said he would not sell his cars. He would not sell his property just to take care of the poor people.
Yes, that leads me to the question. Do you really expect that a rich pastor should become poor to show that he's ready to help the poor?
No.
If you have a private jet, is it a problem as a pastor? Must you sell off your jets before you can cater for the poor?
No, I want you to take it up for the poor before you buy that jet.
But the poor will always remain.
Yes, but let us...
You can only help as much as you can. You can only do as much as you can.
Yeah, but the money that I used to buy that jet could cater for maybe another 1 million. So let me first of all cater for that 1 million first. And by the time I know that I've really catered for so much, and I've seen that the amount of poor people in my country has been reduced drastically, then I could be thinking about my own jet.
So if you cater for 1 million people and you just got to realize that there are more 2 million people who need help, you will place it and hold.
I will place and hold.
You will never own a property. You will never live in
No.
affluence because you have to wait till everybody's okay?
No, we're talking of plain now. If it is plain is much more expensive than most of those other properties. But if it is other minimum amount of what they call property, no, what they call acquisitions. Yeah, it's not. Like for example, he was having all these cars, all this. Nothing bad with them that by themselves, but I think that we should always put the needs of human beings above needs for comfort and needs for affluence. Yes, affluence. But Nigeria is a nation of affluence. We like it. We like to flaunt our wealth. We like to, to go about and make a point that we have arrived, that we are rich, that we are wealthy, that we are this. That is what Nigerians are more concerned about, and unfortunately our pastors too. I think that we should change that order. That's just what I'm trying to say. We should put human being, people, as priority. People above our own comfort. People above our own affluence. People above our own need to be elitist, and to be pompous and to demonstrate how big and how powerful we are. Let's put the need for human beings ahead of egocentric needs. And because that human beings are the people that Jesus died for. Jesus didn't die for cars or for planes or for properties. He died for people. Even if you are going to buy those planes and properties, use them for people. I have a big house here, but see, the lady who came from Switzerland, what was she saying? She said she was shocked that my house is like a bus station. People coming in and out and living, and how can everybody just be? She said she had never seen anything like that before. She's traveled to Nigeria 8 times. She has traveled to Bahamas. She has tried to India. She has traveled all over the world. She's never seen a pastor's house like this. Even if they are going to buy cars and let them use for people too. But no, it's about them. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's fine.
Doctor,
I want to attest to what Dr. Sunday said. Sorry. Basically, even with your car, just to use your car as an example, I know you once said that you were using the Porsche cars before, and then you sold those cars and bought a van that you're using right now because you said that you can't afford to be in a Porsche car and go on the street and see other God's children walking, and they don't have anything to get into. And so you had to exchange your car, your Porsche car that is only for yourself and maybe your family, and you bought a van that can carry people along. So and the example of your house to gives credence to what you're saying, that having good stuff, so having money, having apartments, having Porsche cars and all of that is not the problem, but I think it's just having the heart of God and having the right value system, having people in mind, using whatever you have as a means to serve people.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rani. Dr. Sunday.
Yep.
I know you've criticized a lot of pastors. You've attacked, seemingly, maybe I should say, you've attacked a lot of pastors, and you've been a critic of a lot of charismatic pastors in Nigeria. So I want to ask you, what is the role of criticism in edifying the body of Christ today?
Okay, I think we have to translate that book to English. It's translated. Only we have not translated it to criticism. I have a book on criticism, actually 2. One is translated, another one is not. How to probably criticize people. The other one is how to accept and receive criticism. I think life, one of the most important things in life is questioning. Questioning is a result of critical thinking. So for anybody that thinks, he must question. And you could call questioning is almost the same thing as criticizing. But the way you are talking about me criticizing people is as if it is a destructive criticism, because we have destructive criticism. That is when you criticize people to make them, look bad, to destroy them, to tear them down without showing them the way out or the way you want them to do better. That is destructive criticism. But constructive criticism is the criticism when you criticize people and then show them what they could do better. You are showing them the way that, yes, I'm criticizing you for this thing, but see the way you could do it better. Things could be done in a better way. That is a constructive criticism. I believe that Nigeria needs constructive criticism like never before. I believe that the plague of silence is killing our country. The philosophy and the ideology that is being propagated by our African culture that don't criticize people, especially your elders, and don't criticize the status quo, I think it's killing Africa. And I think we must reject it. We must institute from our primary schools, even from kindergarten, the subject of critical thinking. We must begin to, make our children criticize everything, question everything. Maybe not criticize, but question everything. And because it is only through questioning or criticism, self-critique, that we could come to invention. Inventions and discoveries are only possible when you question everything. So the role of criticism and questioning in restoring Africa, I did a whole HMT on it. Last summer, I think. Was it last summer? 2 summers ago?
I think it was last.
Okay, maybe last summer or so. I did an HMT where I spoke about questioning, the art of questioning, and the role of questioning in the development and civilization of Africa. And that applies to the church as well. I mean, those are like maybe 20 hours of teaching just on this topic.
Yeah, I really want to appreciate you, because the fact that you're even giving room for questioning, the fact that this program can hold shows the state of your heart, that you are a man after God's own heart, that you really want the truth to be out there, because you understand that this questioning session is not something interesting. No, not interesting, I should say. It's not something that is going in your favor. It's not pleasant to you. I'm questioning a lot of your practices, a lot of the fact that you're audacious and you talk about pastors. The fact that you can accommodate this shows that you are a friend of the truth. And I really appreciate you. And that brings me to the next question, that do you consider some of your perspectives overstretched? Could you have spent more time bringing lost souls to the kingdom of God than attacking men of God and their practices?
Okay. Attacking men of God and their practices, I think it relates a little bit to what I just said. I'm questioning, I'm criticizing, and attacking the practices of the men of God. But I'm not sure I'm attacking the men of God individually or their lives. I'm not about their lives. If I'm doing that, it's not intentional. That is not the intention. The intention is to criticize their wrong behaviors, condemn them, attack wrong and evil practices that I see there, and then show them the way out. And just try to do anything to appeal to their soul and to their heart and to their consciousness, and also to awaken the people who have been gullibly come under their influence and are now being held in captivity without knowing it. Are some of my perspective overstressed? If you talk about, I have disciples that I think have overstressed some things, maybe like Mayowa a little bit, especially in the language, and maybe, a few people like this. But I would not say that we have, or I personally have stressed my points yet. I could actually become more vicious. I could become more audacious. But, I'm trying to always guard all my acts by my values and principles. And there are certain values and principles that I hold that will not allow me to do things in a much more audacious and vicious manner. So I could do more. Maybe when you now compare what I'm doing and I've done to the way Nigerian psyche works and to the way Nigerian society is made up, definitely I am like an outcast there. I am like an antichrist. I am like, yes, I've not just overstressed things, but I've overdone things. I'm like not just audacious and vicious. I think they even see me as malicious. So, but even if I am in their own understanding, I will not try to defend myself. I will only say, maybe I needed to make things go to the extreme like that before we could find the middle road. Well, there must be somebody to do it. So, and that's why I tolerate what people like Mayowa are doing. There must be some people who will stretch things to the extreme before we could all come to the center. Because right now, we are on the other extreme in Nigeria. So we need another extreme to bring us, to make us all find the middle of the road.
Okay, thank you. So how can church leaders manage criticism and name calling in this information age?
We shouldn't manage it. We should just try to accept, look at it and see how it's helping us. We should find out and use it as a soul searching opportunity for soul searching, opportunity to look into ourselves and to be able to make ourselves better. I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I also understand, Pastor, that you've taken a lot of videos of men of God, especially from Nigeria, to analyze for errors in doctrines and practices. Do you think you could be found to be with faults and errors too if your teachings were to be analyzed?
Oh yes, people should do that. I will welcome that with all my heart. I will welcome people to analyze my teachings and scripturally and see if my teachings are against the word of God. But the only thing they are doing is that they have been only attacking my personality and my character and carrying rumors everywhere and spreading lies, non-truth. You see my book, Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. That is what they are using. If the basis they are going to use to criticize me will be truth upon my doctrines and my philosophies, let's do it. I will welcome that.
Okay. So I also understand that the church has been for over 2,000 years, maybe.
Yes.
So, and there has been a lot of falsehood, but the church could not be stopped.
Yes.
So the church cannot self-destruct.
Yes.
So why are you like the defender of the church? Do you believe that your acts now can stop any falsehood completely? Don't you think the church itself or self is immune to any kind of falsehood and has a check and balance?
God is at
being hit that can put things right without anybody trying to be the defender
policeman
of the church?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you have studied the history of the church, you will see that there is a time that in the history of the church that we used to refer to as the Dark Age. In the dark ages of the church, because nobody was talking, because the church gagged the mouth of people, and they practiced things like what do you call this? Not crusades, but when you are killing people and putting them on fire, burning them, there is a practice they used to. No. What do you call it? It's in my heart. That is why they want to, Galileo and other people, that's why they want to kill them. Inquisition. So it is inquisition. So that inquisition and all those things, it is a process of gagging people. So inquisition, it has happened before, and the church was dead. Now, the church was not totally dead, because there were still people who were hiding, who were, underground, the remnants. But this is not the church of one country. I'm talking about the whole world was like dead, just because there were no people criticizing. And we had this period for like 1,000 years, 500 years, 600 years. Darkness ruled over the earth. And it is during this period that we engage in crusades. If you have read the, the very terrible things that Christians did. But even before then, it is at this time that the church was so weak that we lost, as a result of that, the church, the body of Christ, the worldwide church now, we lost Egypt to Islam. We lost Morocco to Islam. We lost Algeria to Islam. All those countries were Christian countries. Okay. Turkey, Tunisia, Syria, Lebanon, all those countries in North America and Asia, they were all Christian countries. We all lost all of them to Islam because the church was not self-criticizing. Even though the church came out and survived it, but one of the ways that God used the church to salvage the church, to survive it, was Reformation. Yeah. That Martin Luther, the reformer, did. So when he came, he set free the church, broke the yoke, and started a new lineage of church that we call Protestants today. We are all products of what Martin Luther did. Okay. That's exactly what we're doing in Nigeria. Okay. If we let things to go the way it's going now in Nigeria, it will be dead, just like it died in Turkey. Christianity died in Turkey, in Greece, in Morocco, in Egypt, in other places.
So you believe the church can self-destruct if someone will
yes,
stand up to
yes. It is not the forces from outside that destroy the church. It is the forces from inside, the ignorance and the darkness from inside that destroys the church. And then the outside forces, like Islam, only take advantage of that. They will Islamize Nigeria without striking, without shooting a gun. We will self-destroy to the extent that everybody, Christians themselves, will move over to Islam. If we don't quickly, it is happening already. I heard that even children of pastors right now in Nigeria are becoming atheists. Atheism is taking over. You know, why is the rise of atheism in Europe? Because of the death of the church in Europe. That's why that's what gave birth to atheism. So, even right now in America and in England, there are children of Christians and children of pastors, even in Nigeria, who don't want to have anything to do with Christianity, just because of the kind of practices that churches are tolerating right now. The church is being invaded by ungodliness, and that is pushing people away from church. Sure. So we must do reformation, we must stop the evil, we must chase away the darkness with the light, so that we will be able to rescue not just the church but our nations.
Well, thank you, Pastor. So do you think you're leaving a godly legacy for the church and the nation?
Well, when Martin Luther, the reformer, was doing what he did, people actually excommunicated him. They even told him that he was an anathema. He was apostate. He was declared as a devil in the flesh. And anybody that will have anything to do with him, they are cursed. But today, it is through that man, and thanks to him, and people like him who followed his examples, that we still have the church living. And even the people who excommunicated him, 400 years later, they celebrated him and forgave him and withdrew the verdict that they released against him. So today too, people might see me as an evil distraction to the church, but history will put me in the right place of history.
Yeah. So talking about worship, praise and worship, you really condemned the experience and Nathaniel Bassey's, that popular Nigerian gospel artist. There was a time you organized the Hallelujah Challenge, I think.
Or something.
Yeah, so you did not buy into that. So what is your understanding of praise and worship? How should it be done? Why do you think it's not right to have the experience of the Hallelujah Challenge?
The experience, the reason why I'm negatively disposed to experience is because they are spending so much resources, so much money to just gather crowd. It is all about ego, my friend. It is all about Adelaja. It is all about Paul. I gathered the biggest. Even when I met with him, he was boasting about that. I gathered the biggest crowd of people to worship. There is nothing like, it's all about ego, my friend. And then when I was in America, I met with gospel singers and who are, tyrants. Something. No, don't let me mention their names. So all these people, they were saying, they were talking, let's go to Nigeria. Are you going? Are you, they will pay for your hotel. They will pay for your flight. They will pay for your this. They will do this. They have money. That is what the impression Nigerians are giving to Americans. And they are going there because everything is fully paid. And this is a city where people cannot even feed. People are lying in the street. They are spending so much time and making people poorer. Even the people who are contributing to that money, they are becoming poorer because they think they are giving it for God. What has become better in Nigeria since they started doing that? How the poverty has increased. Everything has increased. What has God answered the prayer? No. So it's only crazy people who will continue to do the same thing over and over again without seeing any result. Nothing changes. It's getting worse, and you're still doing it. But because of ego, their God is their belly. Their God is their ego. Now, so what is the place of praise and worship? Nigerians are using praise and worship, especially the churches, as an instrument to convene people under them, to mobilize people, to colonize people under them, to captivate people. They are using it as an instrument of to subject people, as an instrument of deception. They are not praise and worship people is an instrument that pastors are using to to recruit people and put them under them. It is not what praise and worship is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about praise and worship is supposed to be taught to people as a means of building personal relationship with God. That's the purpose of praise and worship. Praise and worship is supposed to help individuals to discover God on their own. And the personal praise and worship that they have on their own personal life, individual life, in their houses is more important than the churches. But the way it's being sold out to the people in church is that it is all about bringing them. It's like cashing. It's like what do you use to catch
like
fish?
A bait.
Like a bait. And so people just want to, people just want to enjoy themselves. They are using flesh. It is flesh and carnality to bait people and, make them to feel that this is God. I am sure that when the rapture happens, people will still be doing church next Sunday. And it will still be so anointed because of the praise and worship manipulation. They will still say, what an anointed service. They will not even know that rapture has taken place. Because they can do anointing now without God. Through praise and worship, through instruments, they can bring anointing, their own anointing, people will be feeling anointing, goosebumps, and the ghost church is already gone now, and they are still feeling goosebumps. That is what I'm against.
Okay, sir. So what can you say?
About Nathaniel, Nathaniel you mentioned. Nathaniel Bassey. Now, I'm not against him. I don't know him. But I could see the tendency as well of people thinking that it has to take somebody else, like Nathaniel Bassey or anybody or Rem Connolly, to make them come and worship God. It is... there is a cult of personality there. Is it not that same guy who went to Chris Oyakhilom's church and was telling people they should give some money, either tithe or money to, it's all a means of manipulation. That Nathaniel guy, he has videos also where he is, especially in Christ Embassy Church, is being used to manipulate people.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Maybe he has planted was solution.
Okay, I know you're saying something, Doctor.
No, you were saying something.
Okay. Are you done with that question, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you see any good in the mainstream preachers in the Nigerian church, or they are all together of no good? What good can you see in the Nigerian church, especially in the mainstream preachers? Charismatic preachers.
I wrote a book that is called Moses Generation versus Joshua Generation. In that book, I really spoke candidly again about the mainstream Nigerian pastors in a kind way and in a good way, I suppose. I think that they are good in what they are doing. They are building personal empires and they are the best in it in the world. Adeboye, Oyedepo, or Yakilome, they are building personal empires and they are the best
in the world.
In the world at what they do. They speak well. You know, yesterday I put on my blog the videos of all the pastors who prophesied and about this election and failed. People like Oyedepo, Abioye, Iginla, Suleiman, some people in South Africa. When I was watching those videos with my wife, I said, Pastor, Princess, we have to give these people credit for one thing. You know what? The way they are talking with confidence, the way they are so bold, that the eloquence, the eloquence, the rhyming of the words. In fact, you would think it's Jesus couldn't have done better than them. So Nigerian pastors have become master speakers, master talkers, rhetorics, and what do you call it? They call fluent or fluency. Yeah. What do you call it? Eloquence. They are so eloquent, and they have boldness. They have power. They're speaking with so much power that you even think you are silly to doubt them. So those are some of the good things I would say about the Nigerian church.
So,
but on a serious note, the most positive thing I can say about Nigerian church is that about the senior pastors, the charismatic ones, is that they have really done a good job to take Africa, Nigeria, away from the traditional witchcraft and evil practices that pervaded and invaded Africa and Nigeria. They have brought the knowledge of Christianity to the forefront. Even though they have brought back people again to another paganism, a more sophisticated paganism and syncretism, but they have delivered the nation from Egypt, from the Egypt of darkness, of thorough witchcraft that our people were in.
Okay, so that's the only thing you can say about it?
Yes, and they have made popularized Christianity, yes.
Okay, so if you're in Nigeria today, will you start a church?
No, I don't plan to, but I do plan to raise up pastors who will start their own churches. And I do plan to raise up and to support pastors who are already doing their own churches, to learn to do churches the right way, to do church the right way, the kingdom way.
Okay. Do you have any regrets?
If God instructs me to start a church, I would definitely do it, but it's not something I would like to do.
Okay. Do you regret exposing pastors, or you hold no one apologies? You hold no one apologies, or do you have any regret exposing all the mainstream preachers, all the pastors you've exposed so far?
I would not say I've exposed pastors, but I've exposed some evil practices of pastors. So that's the way I would say it. I think I'm doing it in conjunction with Ephesians chapter 5, where the Bible says that we shouldn't be a part of the evil works of Satan, but we should rather expose them. So I am being scriptural in what I do. And also 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 29, when it says that when pastors or preachers or prophets are talking, that other people who are listening should judge them. So as long as I'm doing the will of God, there is no regret. There are no regrets.
Okay, Pastor. So I have this question about Daddy Freeze. Why are you having a collaborative broadcast with the highly controversial on-air personality Daddy Freeze? Do you share the same ideals and faith?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question, because I just don't understand why. In fact, there are some people who said, and they will write me this on my emails and on my Facebook message inboxes, and say, I will never listen to you just because you are friendly with Daddy Freeze. Just because of that? What about the things I am committing? I thought my own offenses themselves are enough. But it's like people are even ready to close their eyes against some of the things that I do. But they will not imagine that they will not even, some of them even say, I shouldn't bring that difference again to my platform. Some of them will say, okay, you are a pastor. At least pastors against pastors, or it's okay. But that difference, I don't know why they're against that difference like that. I don't understand it. I don't get it. There are some doctrinal differences, maybe with what I believe and what that difference believes. And I think that, I'm trying to find out more about. There are a lot of allegations about the doctrines of that difference that people bring to my attention all the time. So each time I do interview with him, I try to use the time to question some of those things and for him to bring out clarity. And since I've been listening to him and I've been questioning him, I discovered that yes, it's true that there are really some things where we disagree. There are some doctrinal differences between myself and that difference. But still, the mission that he is carrying out is the same as I'm carrying out, to bring about reformation of the Nigerian church. And that's why I'm collaborating with him.
Okay, do you think you will have any regrets collaborating with Daddy Freeze?
Maybe I will have regrets in future, but I hope I will not, and I pray I will not. Some people, for example, are telling me now that that the phrase says that we don't need to accept Jesus Christ to go to heaven. He didn't confirm that to me when we spoke, because people were saying that he said Muslims or any faith can just believe in Islam and go to heaven, or believe in love and go to heaven, or something. I said there's a bit of truth in what he said, but that doesn't mean without Christ. And he didn't confirm me that without Christ you can go to heaven. I didn't get that. If he says, if that is exactly what he believes, that without Jesus you can go to heaven, that would be a big problem for me. That I would not agree with that. Because I say, you don't need to be religious to go to heaven. You don't need to come to Christianity to go to heaven. That you can have personal relationship with God through God could bring you to himself through the power of truth, through love, and through, he said, I'm the way, the way, the truth, and the life. So I believe that people who believe in the truth, who believe in the power of love, can have personal relationship with God if they are really committed to truth. Because Jesus Christ is truth. Jesus Christ is revealing himself to them. He will reveal himself to them through truth or through love. But it is still through Jesus Christ. So I don't believe that without Jesus Christ anybody could get to heaven or get to know God. It is only through Jesus Christ, no matter what. So, so that would be the biggest problem, the biggest issue that I have. Now, some people said that he said the Muslims and the Christians are serving the same God. I said, yes, we are serving the same God if you have to believe the Bible. But are the Muslims serving him the right way? No. Is Islam correct? No, Islam is wrong. Islam, for me, is a false religion. And Prophet Muhammad too is in error. Is a cult. So it's a cult leader. So, but does that mean that they don't serve the same God? No, they intend to serve the same God. But they are not serving the same God the way that God prescribed that he should be served. But their desire and their thought is to serve that same God. But you can only serve that same God through Christ. But they are trying to serve him through religious practices and religious acts. But if you are going to accuse the Muslims of that, then you have to accuse the Jews of the same thing. Because the Jews are having the same problem. Yeah. So if the same way, my own attitude is, the same way you relate to the Jews is the same way you have to relate to the Muslims. Because we three of us are having faith in the same God. Now, people have challenged me because of this. People have attacked me because of this. But soon, I'm going to have my series on Islam and why I believe that Islam is not from God. Islam as a religion is not from God, and that Muhammad is not from God. And I will prove that to anybody that will care to believe. But the fact that the Muslim people, the Arab people who are the descendants of Ishmael, that God loves them, God loves everybody the same. and that they are from the faith of Abraham is a fact that we could see in the Bible. So they are trying to get to the God of Abraham, which in their language is Allah. And in our own language is our God, the way we talk about Jehovah, Yahweh, But they cannot get to him because of what the confusion Islam has given them, Muhammad has given them. So it's two different questions.
Yes, sir. I don't know. I personally don't know
that the phrase
in this country. Where are we now? What is going on now?
Because I don't know him.
When there was corruption in this country, Nigeria was first in Africa in the economy, and there was corruption. Now, in this regime, they are fighting against corruption, and yet we are the capital of the world, most poor country in the world. Why? Fight! Thank God for the fight for corruption. I do a little bit of mathematics in the school and economics in the school. I cannot just comprehend when there was corruption. We were first economy in Africa. We put South Africa behind us, and we are the pride of Africa. Now they are fighting corruption. They are fighting everything, and we are behind.
Make it
people cannot
as fast as possible. Maybe after the HMT. I will not do live broadcast immediately because a lot of things I said they are very sensational and are very sensitive. So I will do, it will be available on my YouTube, but only by request. So people like you or anybody who want to study Islam, from my own understanding, from my research, and I've done a thorough research, and anybody that knows me and has been studying my videos and my books, you will see that if Pastor Sunday takes on any topic, you will know that you are on a journey. It will take you on a journey that there is nobody that will do a better job. So my own analysis of Islam is going to be something like the world has never seen before. Because I've been studying this for 3.5 years. And now I'm ready to release it to the world. But not publicly because, I don't want to start that war yet. Let me finish the one I'm doing first. But the people who are really hungry to learn about my perspective about Islam, we could give them links to go and listen.
Pastor, you want to interject?
I want to I didn't know if we will be having the opportunity for people to call into the studio. I don't know. If
it depends on how many more questions he has.
I can just...
So if you have more, you can keep asking.
Yeah. I think it's good people also calling to voice their opinion.
Okay, anybody that wants to call into the studio, please go ahead and write to Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. When you go to Facebook Messenger, when you get there, look for Move Agents. And when you get to Move Agents, just write that you would like to call and send us a note and we will call you back, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, Pastor, would you call all the controversies surrounding your life and ministry vindictive?
What is vindictive? Vindictive, in my own understanding,
like revenge, maybe someone trying to get even with you, someone trying to set you up in that sense, someone just trying
No, it's not always vindictive. Okay, for example, most people who say things about me is what they heard from somebody else or what they saw. They just say somebody said it or they read it somewhere. So I don't think they're vindictive. I think they just saw news and they started spreading it. People are just ignorant. And then there are some other people that believe that what I'm doing is wrong and I need to be stopped. And they sincerely believe that what I'm doing is wrong and I need to be stopped. So they are doing their best because that is their own knowledge right now. That is their own understanding about who I am and about what I'm doing. And they think it is their obligation or duty to stop what I'm doing, and you can understand them.
Okay, so what do you consider to be your biggest mistake in life?
My biggest mistake in life? Mistake.
Yes.
Mistake or failure?
How do you see the two?
If it's mistake, that means that is what I did as a mistake, Mistake, in my own understanding, is something that I shouldn't have done, but I did. So if you want to talk about mistake, my biggest mistake in life would probably be the fact that I didn't know how evil people could be. I didn't know that people could take advantage of your or mine, correct intentions and use it to make it evil and to destroy you. And if you want to know concretely what it is, I will tell you as well. So my biggest mistake in life is that I believed in raising people. So I was able to raise 200 millionaires here, but to also raise 2,500 businesses in the church. So when I raise them, I bring them to the stage to testify and to tell their story. So when one of them now ran into problem, a company, one of the ones that I've raised up, ran into problem because of the economic meltdown of 2008 that happened, and that company collapsed. So the argument that my political opponents in Ukraine here were using against me is that since they saw those people on my stage, it means that I was having a scheme together with them. Even though the people themselves were not even having a scheme. But the political people use it as an argument to say, you are the pastor of the church. The church, my own church, it is my church that lost the money, not people outside. I built the church and the church people lost the money. So they are now using it to accuse me that I planned to steal the money of my own people together with these people. So is that a mistake? If maybe that is the closest I could say is a mistake, because what a mistake, that is the closest I could say that is a mistake, because it is the mistake that has cost me a whole lot, more than anybody could imagine. Now, another mistake might be in connection with my health. I had an health issue because I was not aware. I was not, I just didn't know that those things exist. For example, I spoke about when I came to Europe, and I would not drink water for 9 years because I didn't even know that water is necessary for the body. And the first 9 years of the church also, I never took a break. I never went on vacation. I was so focused on building church.
9 years?
Yes, I never took vacation. I never traveled anywhere. So all those things were mistakes, but most of the other mistakes, they are the things I used to teach the whole wide world. So my mistakes are my lessons, and my mistakes and my failures are my lessons that I now develop to be lessons to the world.
So how did this mistake or the mistakes you've made in your life, how did they affect your life and ministry today?
Oh yeah, they affect, because a lot when you there are some mistakes that you make. Okay, like for example, talk about that company that collapsed. That gave birth to a lot of King's Capital. That is the company I said out of the 2,500 companies that I helped to start. I didn't help them start. I just inspired them. But this is one of them, and so when that kind of mistake is made, for example, and that kind of company collapse, it gives birth to rumors and talks that gives back to another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. So that affects you because people don't really know the truth, but they just hear something and carry it on. Now, there might be maybe another thing you could call mistakes could be people that I've trusted. I'm still questioning I personally don't believe they are mistakes, but there are things people would think they are mistakes. So I have trusted relationship with people. I'm free with people. I try to be real with people. Men, women, opposite sex, the same sex. I'm just real. I'm just who I am. But some people will take that and use it as an argument or as rumors and come up with stories. So that's the way they affect me. That's talking about the way it has affected me and my ministry. But I am not even sure of how much they are mistakes. But the consequences is that, they give birth to stories and talks and rumors and things like that.
Okay. All right. Dr. Arnie.
No, sorry.
Do we have callers?
Okay.
I think they said we have callers. Okay, go ahead and ask me.
Okay, are you afraid you've made a humongous amount of enemies in the Nigerian church and even in the political landscape of your home country?
Yeah, that's not new. I've made a lot of them here too. That's why I'm in court still. I've made a lot of political enemies here. All those rumors that you hear in the newspaper, some of them were given birth to from the enemies that I've made here, both within the church and the political world and the KGB. They come up with all those stories, and people are believing them too. So the same thing with Nigeria. But if you want to bring the kingdom of God, I shouldn't run away from controversies. For me, being controversial is as a result of the lifestyle that Christians are supposed to live. I am bringing another kingdom that is in direct opposition to the kingdom of this world and to the order of this world. And I'm not going to retreat, and I'm not going to let the kingdom of this world subdue me or overwhelm me, but I am rather trying my best to overwhelm the kingdom of this world with the principles of my own kingdom. That is already controversy. So I don't have regrets about my controversies. I think it is normal for any kingdom-minded person. Do we have a caller or what? I think they say we have a caller. You manage the call.
All right, so we'll be having calls right now. If we have the caller right, we can hear from her. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello. This is Benjamin calling from Nigeria.
Television exclusion. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, DSA. This is Benjamin calling from Liberia.
All right, welcome, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you for calling. We'd like to hear it from you.
Yes, I've been following the program, and as I've said earlier on this platform, that I'm one of the most ardent followers of DSA, and I wrote it now in the chat that I respect his view, though it's not everything that I agree with, because sometimes I think it goes on the extreme, but that's what makes it normal, that you don't agree with people on everything they say, but you still respect their view. But I know today is mostly of question and answering. I just want to ask DSA, what gives you the courage, because like some of the people some of the things people do, you criticize, because I just have a correction today from what you're saying, that you don't criticize pastor, but you criticize the bad things they are doing. So I wanted to know that what gives you the courage to have come up, because some of the people whom you're criticizing, there are people in African society where people think that they don't do wrong. They think that they are infallible and they are perfect, they don't do wrong. And as a student of history, I know that one of the reasons the Catholic Church, forgive me if there are any person on your platform who is a Catholic, but one of the reasons the Catholic Church fell was that when the Pope and its leader and the Catholic leaders got to a place where they felt that everything the Pope said and he did they were correct, that he could not make mistakes and so forth like that. That's where their downfall came from. There were some of the gross mistakes and abuses we saw. And I'm saying that Pentecostalism is no different from the seal of indulgence that we saw in the Dark Ages and all the different stuff we saw. So I just want to know what courage a person like me need to be able to openly stand against some of the unorthodox practices that are happening. And I want to say that most of these things are exported from Nigeria, because Nigeria, of course, is Africa's most popular nation. So people go there. I school in Nigeria, by the way, and my wife is a Nigerian. We live in Nigeria.
Okay, sir. I got your question very well.
Yeah, and Nigeria is a popular nation, sir. So people go there, want to see some of these things. They export them to places like Liberia. So some of us that speak the truth is like our truth is not working because these guys are popular and everybody is going after them and so forth. So I just want to know what courage do a person like me need to be able to openly speak against some of these things, sir? Thank you.
Beautiful. I will answer right now. Thank you so much. Okay, number one. I've tried to answer that when I spoke about Buhari, why I was able to know that Buhari was going to win, and I stand my ground on that. First of all, my own secret, and I told my friend here, Anu, when he came to me to ask that question one time too, how do you have the audacity to stand against the whole world and, just do what you are doing? Number one, I told him that this is not what the impression I give out there. The impression I give out there is that this is just my opinion, and this is just, out of the statistics because that's what they need. But between I and you, my secret is this. I first of all make sure I relate, thanks to my relationship with God, I find out his opinion about everything. I make sure I am on his side. I make sure I hear him. And I don't miss it almost. When it comes to God, I don't miss it. So I just make sure I get his opinion. Once I've done, then I take my time and then I will go and do research. It is the research that I use to prove my point to the public out there, to the outside world. I don't come to be telling them God said, because that is not an empirical argument or evidence. So I come out with empirical evidences and I use that to say this is my opinion, this is my position, and these are the evidences that support my opinion. So what gives me the confidence? That relationship with God, that one-on-one personal relationship with God, that is my backbone. Secondly, the son cannot do anything except what he sees the father doing. I make sure that I see the father do. I find out from the heart of God what he wants me to do in this particular situation and about particular something. So once I've discovered that, I've found that out, that is my second basis of my confidence. Number three, once I know that I always know I'm on the side of truth. So I then look for evidences, facts, that will establish the truth and make the truth evidential to me and to the world. So once I can establish the truth on a thing, I'm always very confident because I know that God is always on the side of truth. Even though God might not even talk to me about a thing, but once I know that it is the true 100%, I know that God is truth and God is always on that side. So once I'm sure of truth, I know a principle that says that one on the side of truth is a majority. And I always also know that it doesn't matter how many people are against me, but if he is for me, it's immaterial how many are against. Because one with God also is a majority. Then there is another point that is important for me. Even when I find out that something is the will of God to do, I take my time to find the timing, if this is the right thing to do now or not. And what makes me to know, how do I know most of the time if it's the right thing to do? I calculate my forces, my strength. So I need to weigh my strength. Sometimes I need to be sure that, because even though you are talking the truth and you are on the side of God, there will still be consequences. Enemies, friends and people that don't understand, there will still be consequences. Because, you are doing something that is against what the whole world is doing. So, have I built in the energy, the strength to be able to withstand that? So, I have to find out my strength. I have to, even though God is telling me to do it, when I know that I don't have the energy or the boldness or the fortitude in me, the stamina, and I'm not feeling the confidence, and I have some concerns or fear, it means I have not built in the fortitude that is needed to be able to stand for that particular truth. So I will take my time. That is a sign for me that it's not yet time. So when it comes to Liberia, like yourself and me, for example, in Ukraine, I also saw a lot of things that were wrong in Ukraine. Like, for example, since when our church was just 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but I didn't do anything. But once our church was like 6 years, 8 years, 7 years, and we were already having 10, 15,000 people, 20,000 people, I knew that I had built enough strength and capacity to be able to attack and face the government and the whole society. So I built a system of, around myself, not just to say it is God who said it, but God said it maybe it's 10 years ago. But it took 10 years for me to be able to build system and capacity and structures around myself so that the consequences of what God wants will not destroy me just because of my own lack of preparedness. So when it now comes to Nigeria, that I'm able to face the whole of Nigeria and talk to them and not be afraid of consequences, even though there are consequences, because I know that in the last 30 years, I've been building, just like they have been building their force capacity, I've also been building capacity. And so my own, I don't just come to talk now. It's not just what I'm talking now, but there are some things behind me. All the reputation and the capacity I've built all over the years. But even more than that, I know that I'm fortified by the things that I plan to build in the future and the things I need to do in Nigeria. I know I will be vindicated by the time I begin to manifest the things that I'm building right now and that I will begin to do when I get to the continent. So, I don't know if you could, so there is a balance between heavenly leading and earthly preparation. I think, do we have a caller still? You still want to say something? You sure yes, we're not? No, you want to say something? Meanwhile, maybe while the caller is coming, I want people to be aware that this book here is on sale till Monday, till tomorrow. So, and it's my latest book, Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. And if you have not gotten it, go for it. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon Kindle, and you could read it on, and all my other books you could get from there as well. And the second book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, I think that is going to be one of the greatest books you have ever read. If you have not read it yet, go get it as well. And I want to also announce that we are having the next HMT in April. And that is when I'm going to talk about building systems and structures around yourself to be able to attain any goals and solve any problems. So go ahead and register by going to sundayadelajablog.com/HMT or write to hmt@godembassy.org. Okay, if you have a caller, we'll see if we'll be able to get the caller immediately.
Okay, Pastor.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think we have yet. I think we are still calling.
Okay. Pastor, I want to know, now that you'll be turning 52.
I think we have a caller already. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Hello, caller. Good evening. Can we know your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yes, my name is Pastor Jonas.
It would be good if you can speak to the mic because we can't hear you very clearly.
Louder too.
Yeah, louder.
Okay. My name is Pastor Jonas.
Well, very good now. From where, sir?
I'm calling from the United Arab Emirates.
Beautiful.
Right.
Yes, man of God, good evening to you and to your team.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
This is my first time on the platform calling in.
Yes.
Actually, I've been following you for a very, very long time. And I also read some of your books when I was doing pastoral apprenticeship in Nigeria. I read The Church Shift. I read Pastoring Without Tears. I also have some of your books here, like money will make you rich. You know, I've been following you very closely, and I want to thank God first of all for what He's using you to do, and I want to also thank you for making yourself available for the kind of work that God is using you to do for such a time like this. I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and then concerning the program for today, actually I've been following right from the beginning when the panelists were asking questions, and actually the subject is about why you are controversial.
Yes, sir.
I think that for such a time like this, somebody needed to rise up to actually speak to
the powers that be.
Yes, and also somebody who will stand to be a voice to some of us who think the same way you think, but we have not grown capacity, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know, to come out and say some of these things. So we have to queue behind somebody
who has grown capacity.
Yes. So, man of God, what you are saying, actually, this is a battle that I have been fighting for so many years.
Wow.
The battle you are fighting now, I don't know if you have much time, but I will just give a little details, and then with time I will be calling in.
Yes.
So that I can talk more on the platform.
Right.
But the issue is that it is based on the principle of resonance that I got connected with you.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is because everything you are saying and doing resonates with the battles and what I am doing in ministry.
Beautiful.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I have worked with a lot of pastors in Nigeria, and a lot of them, we actually had good time together, and our separation was fantastic. But the issue is that I was very, I used so much wisdom that God gave me to separate from them, because when I actually identified most of the things that you are talking about in the ministry and in the pastors, I don't go about criticizing them, but I break off because the Lord speaks to me clearly that the direction they are going is not actually what He has called me to do.
Right.
And I also summon the courage to move, because there are a lot of people who know what to do, but they don't have the courage to move.
Yes.
Because most of these pastors, they threaten people with curses that if you leave the ministry, your life was going to crumble, that if you change your line of thought, some kind of bad thing or terrible thing will happen to you.
Yes.
You know. But being somebody who has read the scriptures, I do read other books, but I spend more time daily on the scriptures. I read from Genesis to Revelation, from Genesis to Revelation. So I have come to discover God for myself.
Right.
So people don't just tell me any kind of story and then I pick the stories and run with them. No, I have discovered God for myself. So that kind of has given me confidence. And I have an encounter with God that nobody can talk me out of it. And that has helped me to be able to navigate until this point where I am. So why I'm calling in tonight, I don't know if you have so much time.
No, we don't, because a lot of people want to call.
Yes. So I'm so grateful, and I want to also be connected to, I don't know how to get deeper if I want to make some level of commitment to your ministry and what you're doing.
Yes, you can, you know, if you go to, do you know my messages are on YouTube?
Yes, I follow everything. I've been following.
Okay,
In fact, there's one message that you did that actually changed my life, and I'm making a lot of breakthrough right now. I'm having a lot of breakthrough. Is urgently become a workaholic.
Yes, sir. And I have a book, and I have a book like that too. That is what it's called.
Yes. What's the name of the book, sir?
The same thing you said, urgently become a workaholic.
Fantastic. When I heard that message, my whole life, it was like I was set on fire. And now I just finished a course that I never thought that I would do so fast, and I'm on a second level of that course now. And besides that, you know, I am also doing a lot of exploit, both in ministry. My mentality, you know, has changed in the sense that I am doing ministry beyond winning souls now, you know. And the people that we are preaching to in the United Arab Emirates, they are just so much blessed, because the kind of things that I am saying to them is not just ministering God to them, but it is transforming every area of their life.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you need to connect with me, if you need to connect, very easy. You could write to my inbox, or you could write to my email.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So what I'm saying is that these messages that you are putting out there, a lot of people don't know the value, to be very sincere with you, because they are looking at it from a different angle, like you are just talking about Nigerian pastors. That is all they are hearing from the messages. But what I hear from those messages is reformation, transformation, a different face, you know, and a different message, not like different from the gospel, but another way of preaching the gospel and making impact in the lives of the people, you know. And the things that you are saying about the preachers in Nigeria, you know, they have become so much wealthy, and they are now relaxed. I think that the ball is in the people's court. The people have to decide their destiny. They have to decide whether they will continue in that way, or they will remain the same.
Yes, thank you so much, bro. And make sure you call back more often, because you cannot say everything now. You can say more and more each time you call.
Okay, sir. Okay,
thank you so much.
Very much.
Blessings.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we could. You want to say something? Okay.
No, I know you should. Doctor, you should also say something. I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have many questions left. I think I was just going to ask about.
You have a caller? No.
Okay, we have a caller.
No.
Okay, I want to know what your greatest desire is, or wish. Your greatest wish or desire is in life, now that you're turning 52 years this year by May. You'll be turning 52. So what do you consider to be your greatest desire?
That has to be more defined. My greatest desire for now, for this age, for life, for this time.
For life. What are you living for? Or what exactly do you want now? I know you're older. Maybe you had more wishes. Maybe I don't know what wishes you had when you were a lot younger, but now what exactly are you living for? What are you ready to commit all of your resources, all of your energy, all of everything?
I think everybody that is listening to me know the answer to that. I want to go to Nigeria and prove to the world and to Nigeria that we will turn Nigeria around. Not just me, but with my team, with my partners, with all the people God has raised up, for this time. We are going to Nigeria, and we are going to build a modern Nigeria that's going to become the number one Christian country in the world. That is what I want to give my life for right now.
So I also understand that.
Do we have a caller?
We have a caller.
Huh?
Yes.
All right.
Hello,
Hello, caller. Good evening.
Yeah, Pastor Sunday. Good afternoon here.
Yes. Is that
calling from Atlanta?
Talk by from Atlanta?
Yes, you are absolutely right, sir.
How are you, sir?
First of all, let me congratulate you for the winning of Buhari as the president of Nigeria. That's your desire. That's what you got.
Can you speak louder into the microphones because your voice is too low now?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh yes, now yes. Can you repeat what you are saying?
So let me first of all congratulate you that Buhari won by whatever means they won the election, and I want to congratulate you for standing by your man. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I believe is your man, and hopefully the desire and the dream.
When you began to speak, when you say, "Can you hear me now?" your voice was very loud, but now it disappeared again.
Can she come? Can they call me back?
They cannot call you back because we're hearing again now. You just have to concentrate.
Now.
Yes, you have to concentrate and make sure you stay at that point where you are.
Yeah, I don't think the network. Okay, can you? Okay, now what I'm saying is that I said congratulations for Buhari becoming the president.
Yes.
Because of all your input and what you believe in, and you stood by it, even though most of us that your ardent followers are not in terms with it.
Yes.
But the question I want to ask is this, sir. You see, on my own part, this is my belief. I may be wrong.
Yes.
I don't believe you really know these people you are supporting in depth.
Okay.
And that is why when the man that was interviewing you was asking you,
okay,
that are you going to behave differently when you get to Nigeria, when you see the reality on ground, when you can feel the pulse of the people, because you feel the pulse of the people when you see the people you relate to day in, day out. You see the real people, not those of us on social media. Like I said, I've been saying it when I support you, we read that. Look, the battle of Nigeria is not going to be fought on social media. It is going to be fought on the ground.
Yes.
Now, the man was asking you the other time, what do you think is going to be different? Do you think your mindset or your approach is going to be different? And I think you did not really give me a very satisfactory answer. That's number one. Number two, what do you think these people you support to be in government that they are there now, what do you think they are going to do different? Because
what do you think? What? What is number two question?
I said, what do you think they are going to do different than what they have been doing in the last 3 years that you really believe they will do, that made you to support them and you stood by them? Because I so much believe, Pastor Sunday, I'm not going to deceive you. I believe you don't know those who are really working behind the scene for the party you are supporting. I believe, I'm very, very convinced beyond reasonable doubt that you don't know the people that are the real player in this project. So, but that being said, what do you believe is going to be different from what has happened in the last 3 years? So that those of us that are so skeptic about you supporting Buhari, you now say, okay, let's take Pastor Sunday for his word and let's see what's going to happen in the next 4 years. That's my question, sir.
Very good. Thank you so much. I will try to give a satisfactory answer. First of all, what will I do differently is repeating your question. That when I begin to see the suffering of the people, when I begin to see the reactions on the ground, but
yes.
Look, we have to drop now so that you could get the answer. Not Stanovich, should be. So that so what I want to say first of all about that is that let's even say Pastor Sunday doesn't know what's going on in Nigeria. I don't feel the pain that is in Nigeria. I don't see the suffering of the people that are in Nigeria. But you people are talking as if you feel the pain and the suffering of the people in Nigeria more than the people who voted for Buhari. You want to tell me nobody voted for Buhari? It was just rigging? It was just they just rigged the election without nobody voted for him? But the fact of the matter is that even if we are going to go by the result that we have right now, almost 4 million people, is it 4 million? 4 million people more, or close to 4 million people more voted for him. In the majority of Nigeria voted for him than those ones you are supporting who you said we won't vote for him because they are feeling the vote. I mean the pain. And those people who voted for him, were they imported from Brazil or from Argentina? Or were they imported from Niger or Cote d'Ivoire? Are they not Nigerians who voted for him? Because even if the whole of Niger was imported and Cote d'Ivoire, all of them, they would not have as many people. Are they not Nigerians who voted for him? Those same Nigerians who voted for him, if they are Nigerians, are they not the ones you are talking about that felt the pain? Are they not the ones you are talking about that are living there? They are living in Nigeria, not like me who is living here. It is because you people are living, Tope, and you, Tope, that is here, and all of you, you are living in your own micro world. You are living among your own little elite group who are critics and who are supposed to be speaking for the masses. But but let the masses speak for themselves. And what the general election has done is that the masses have spoken for themselves. You elite that are so-called fighters for the masses, you lost. Because you don't know the masses you claim to represent. You don't know the Nigerians you claim to represent. Because the Nigerians you claim to represent, they understand Nigeria better than you. They know that any other option apart from Buhari will make us to become a corrupt nation again. They know that right now we have the best Nigerians ruling the country. Buhari and Osinbajo, they are the most virtuous Nigerians right now in politics that we have. We don't have more virtuous people than them. And it is now time to change the history of Nigeria, to rewrite the history of our country. Not just bread and butter determines the well-being of a nation, but the character, the reputation, the deliverance from corruption. Those are the things that are the forefront quality of these people. And the poor people that are suffering, they know they are suffering, but they also understand that this suffering is temporary. And that this suffering is needed for them to be able to get a better world and a better lifestyle. So they trust Buhari, they trust Osinbajo because of their integrity. And they also see the way they are fighting for them. Because the people who are actually hindering Buhari's government right now, they are the elite. The elite in politics, the elite in business, the so-called 2 or 10% of Nigerians who have eaten the national cake of the country. But these people that are there, Osinbajo and Buhari, they are not there for the national cake of the country. They are there to distribute and reach out to the poorer of the poorest that you people claim to represent. But those same people are the ones who have shamed you by not voting for your candidate and by voting for the people who are here right now. Social, another pair of a video, Katorete is Facebook at Pastor. Let me show you one of these kind of people before I answer your second question. We are going to show you the video of one of these kind of people who are thinking like me, even though they are feeling the pain. Who are believing like me, even despite the pain that they are feeling. Because they can see through their pain. They can see through their tears. Unlike you people who are only operating through self-righteousness. Why? Who tell you that Showore is going to be better in terms of integrity and as a leader than Buhari? I am not sure Showore is going to be better. Because it's self-righteousness you are claiming, not track record. But when I talk about Buhari, I'm talking track records. When I talk about Osinbajo, these are track records. But Showore has not been tried in government positions. He has not been exposed to national budget of Nigeria or to all the temptations and the attacks that Buhari and Osinbajo have been exposed to. Their video. Not just delicious.
Are we really not justice? You look at somebody, you look at
so that you
I am a Muslim. We come. You. Are we really in our senses? You look at somebody, you look at I am a Muslim with conviction. And I read comparative religion. The Bible said that it says you will. Are we really in our senses? You look at somebody, you look at I am a Muslim with conviction. And I read comparative religion. The Bible said that it says you will. Anybody who has hatred in his blood. For the masses, for the poor, for the widow, he will never see his kingdom. What does the people want? How many widows are they empowered? How many masses are they empowered? They sold everything we have. Invariably, everything we have in this country, they sold it.
The APC government?
No, I'm talking of the looters. PDP. I voted for Buhari the first time. I voted for Buhari the second time. I voted for Buhari the third time. I voted for Buhari the fourth time. I have now voted for him now. If there is opportunity to do it 10 times, I will do it 100 times. Because of the sincerity in the man. Did you want to tell me that God so much hates this country that he will never bring one single saint among us? What is that our mentality to believe that everybody is corrupt? You want to tell me that your sperm is corrupt? Your baby must be corrupt? Your child must steal before he leaves? Your child should cheat before he leaves? You want to tell me that God doesn't know what he's doing? Buhari is a saint. He's a God sent. Bloody idiot. Let him see my eyes very well. I'm Zubair Mohammed. I live at number 7, Mossad Oluwa Close. My office is at number 2. Oluwatope. I am from Okomosho, from the Royal Home. I'm telling you all my details. Tell that Tuku that I, Zubair Mohammed, he's a thief, he's a rogue. He's a homosexual. We know it. He has killed us. He has killed our souls. I am going to be 60 by June 1st. But all we are doing now is not for me. We are doing it for our own children. A man who wants a ticket for a party spent 57 billion naira a night, which will take him 250 years before he can gather it if he's making 60 million in 2-3 years. As he has said. You see what to entrust him? Gentleman.
It's absurd?
Yeah?
No, it's at an absurd. It's sure does not project, right? Okay, that day is sure as national someone national.
They made some very good.
Are we really in our senses? You look at somebody, you look at I am a Muslim with conviction. And I read comparative religion. The Bible stated it. It says you will, anybody who has hatred in his blood, for the masses, for the poor, for the widow, he will never see his kingdom. What does these people want? How many widows have they empowered? How many masses have they empowered? They sold everything we have, invariably everything we have in this country.
Okay, so that there is a longer version of that thing. But what I'm trying to say is that people who are suffering like that on ground, they understand what is going on, and they are the ones who voted. These people are in Nigeria, so that was his first question. Okay, what was his second question again? Do I really know who stand before, who is behind Buhari, or what was the second question?
How are you so sure that what they're going to do something?
How am I sure that they are going to do better now? I mean, the next time than what they did. I've answered that question. I think they are going to do better because, first of all, because of the integrity of their heart. Those people, it takes blindness not to see that Buhari and Oshibajo have integrity of heart. They are not looters. They are wishing the country the best. I wonder why you people are not saying it. It has to take some bias or some prejudices not to see that these people, they are some of the best people we have in politics in that country. Maybe not even in politics alone. Maybe they are even better than pastors. So But so I think they're definitely going to do better, number one, because I see that they want good for the country. And I see that they have risked everything for the country. And Buhari he almost died. All that time he was in the hospital. Do you think he wanted to be sick? There were some people who were behind that sickness. I have it on confidence information that he was poisoned. So, I mean, they wanted to kill him, but he was ready to die because he had even given his life. I mean, he was ready to give his life during the civil war in Nigeria. He went to war for Nigeria to keep Nigeria one. He says that he believes that God is still keeping him alive and allowing him to be here just for Nigeria. And he just wants to make sure he puts Nigeria in good standing before he leaves. I will not speak for them and I will not vouch for them, but I believe in my own heart that they are going to do better. Nigeria is going to begin to see the change. But I don't believe the change is going to be something so radical like what we all want. But I think we will see that they are doing, we will see more proof and more evidence of the better intention and the better efforts they are putting in the next 4 years than the previous one. I personally am not totally satisfied with their result. I think they could do more, and their result is much more modest than it could be. I personally believe that we, the people that have been picked up and chosen by God from all over the world, we are going to do a better job than they are doing. Not as politicians, but just as Nigerians who will take back our country. And the people that you are even talking about, Showore and Co., why do they have to be president? Why are they looking at politics? I want to change Nigeria too, but I'm not looking at politics. I'm not looking at becoming a president or even a politician. You can still change the country if you have what it takes. And I will prove that I have what it takes when I get to Nigeria, and I'm going to go there well prepared, and I believe God has prepared me for the past 30 years. And when I get to Nigeria, you will begin to see the difference of what we will begin to do with all our team, in Nigeria. And you will begin to see that you don't need to be president. And you will see the change. It will even be more significant changes that the president is doing, what we are going to be doing. So why do they need to be president? And I will tell you why they want to be president. Because they need to get their hand into the budget. They need to get into power. And why can't they go there and say, I don't need your budget, I don't need your power, but I am a Nigerian, I know what it takes to change the country. Let them bring what they have to change the country. That's what I will do. I will bring what I have to change the country, and it will not be political power. It will not be economic budget of the country. I will not be taking something from people, from government to do it. Let Showore do that. Let Bongalu do that. That is the big. Why are they all looking for position to do a change, to make a change? Because they don't have resources. They don't know. They don't have what it takes. They are all looking for government money, for government budget, and for government power. If you are waiting for somebody to give you power for you to be significant or to be relevant, then you are not relevant and significant. If you are waiting for somebody to give you position, it's a positional leadership. It means you are limited. But when you are really, equipped and ready, you don't need to wait for somebody to give you a position before you could make a difference. Yes, I know a video. I don't know if I answered this question or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but I think...
You wouldn't know? Do you think I answered the question?
Yeah, I think you did. Coming from what you said about... many people have said that to you, that you are not on ground, you don't know these people, you don't know what Nigerians are feeling, you don't know Buhari and everything. But being factual with what you said, you are not in Nigeria, you didn't vote, but there were people who voted. So those people who voted, are they not in Nigeria? And even people who are saying that you're not in Nigeria, there are people who are also in diaspora who are saying you don't know. But the people in Nigeria who are suffering the same thing, they're the one who voted. And also with the video that you played, which I believe will play very soon, this is a Nigerian who is on the streets too, who is of age, for you to be 60-year-old, it means that you know you've been through it all. All of the terrains. And he's boldly also declaring and saying what you're saying about the fact that the PDP government have looted and they've destroyed Nigeria to the point where we are right now. And on a personal note,
and he said that Buhari is a saint.
Yes,
compared to other politicians.
Yes. And I mean, with what I know now, after I read your book on how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy, and I saw and I cross-checked with facts, and I saw everything, how the PDP governments, I mean, they looted and stole from the government, like big time. And looking at some of the strategies that Buhari's government have been doing to recover some of these lost, I mean, stolen money, and some things, I mean, the facts are all there. Projects that were once discarded. And
I'm going to challenge Tope that called in now, and this Tope that is here, and other ones that are thinking that I'm gullible, because that's what they're thinking. They think that I'm gullible.
Pastor, I don't think you're gullible.
You know, in regards to Nigerian situation, they are thinking I'm gullible in regards to realities on the ground.
Yeah.
And because they're thinking I'm gullible, that is why they presume or assume that I am just being misled, or being misguided. But what I want to tell them is this: go and read my book first before you even challenge me. Know my thoughts. Read this book, How the Nigerian Economy Can. And I will not talk to you, Tope, until I will. When you call next time, I'm going to say, have you read these books? If you say you have not read them, I say, please drop. Because that is what you, with the base, you premise for you to know who I am and what I am. Because I cannot say everything now. So read the book, which is called How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the American Economy. Then read the book, Nigeria and the Leadership Question. Then read the book, How to Make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. Then read the book, Nigeria Economy and the Way Forward. Read those 4 books, then come back. Then let's talk. And let Showore read those books if he will not change his program. And thank God they are now reaching out to me. Showore people are now reaching out to me already. They want to find out how they can do better for the, thank God. They are getting sense after this loss. They are now want to find out how I could help them to do better in the future elections. But I was there before. They could have addressed me. They could have asked, for my help before now. But they were so self-confident that they know. Anyway, let's see that video again, please. The full video, because the one we saw was not full. Yes, please.
Are we really in our senses? You look at somebody, you look at... I am a Muslim with conviction. And I read comparative religion. The Bible stated it. It said anybody who has hatred in his blood for the masses, for the poor, for the widow, he will never see his kingdom. What does these people want? How many widows have they empowered? How many masses have they empowered? They sold everything we have. Invariably, everything we have in this country, they sold it.
The APC government?
No, I'm talking of the looters. PDP. I voted for Buhari the first time. I voted for Buhari the second time. I voted for Buhari the third time. I voted for Buhari the fourth time. I have now voted for him now. If there is opportunity to do it 10 times, I will do it 100 times. Because of the sincerity in the man. Do you want to tell me that God so much hates this country that he will never bring one single cent among us? What is that our mentality to believe that everybody is corrupt? You want to tell me that your sperm is corrupt? Your baby must be corrupt? Your child must steal before he leaves? Your child should cheat before he leaves? You want to tell me that God doesn't know what he's doing? Buhari is a saint. He's a God sent.
What about Atiku?
Bloody idiots. Doesn't see my eyes very well. I'm Zubair Mohammed. I live at number 7, Mosad Oluwa Close. My office is at number 2. I am from Okomosho, from the Royal Home. I'm telling you all my details. Tell Atiku that I, Zubair Mohammed, he's a thief, he's a rogue. He's a homosexual. We know it. He has killed us. He has killed our souls. I am going to be 60 by 2 force. But all we are doing now is not for me. We are doing it for our children. A man who wants a ticket for a party spent 57 billion naira a night, which will take him 250 years before he can get out if he's making 60 million in 2-3 years, as he has said. You see what to entrust him? Gentlemen, a man come to you to tell you that your wealth in your house, your family treasury, that he has looted it, that he has stolen it. The only bag that you are hanging, he come to you to come and tell you, I'm sorry, I've stolen your father's money. I've finished with everything you have. But just give me the trust with this your bag, let me hold. I'm not going to steal again. You want to believe him? And he's still telling you before you that if I have enough time to sit down, I want to open this bag and sell it, even if you are going to kill me. Gentlemen, what become of you is the mindset. This man that is standing before you did not have the opportunity of going to school. I did not have the opportunity of going to school. But today, to God be the glory, I have 2 master's degree holders in my house that I train. And today they are on their own. It is in the mindset. Government is all about mindset. You want to rate yourself with Americans? Idiots. An average American from the age of 8 is thinking of what he's going to do with his brain. An average American from the age of 8 is thinking of what he's going to do with his brain. Competitive. Set a goal. How do you get it? You go by it. That's what it takes.
Okay. All right. So I want to ask you because you are of the same opinion as the top man that called. What do you think about this man? Is he not in Nigeria? Or you want to say he's so ignorant too? Because you people are repeating the clique. You constitute a certain group of people, some pseudo elite. You people are pseudo elites that are repeating the same language, and you people are either Christians from the southeast or southwest. That is who you are. And the southerners who think like this, that Buhari is the one that has brought the country to this state. But the people who have sense, who have critical thinking, and who are able to analyze, are thinking just like that. And thank God they are in the majority in Nigeria. And that's why I won. So, for your defense, slave is Wanok.
No, I'm not going to defend myself. Buhari already won, so there's nothing to talk about. He won the elections already, so...
what will you say about the man then? This man that is speaking.
He said he never went to school. He just said it.
But I went to school, and I have the same opinion as him.
Yeah,
so he didn't go to school, but he has more common sense for me than the Atiku supporters. It's not about school. School doesn't make you to have common sense. It is critical thinking and the ability to be able to operate and think by cause and effect. And the man has it. Even though he didn't go to school, but he has more principles of education, critical thinking, and cause and effect than those people who went to school and are supporting Atiku. Hello? You have to speak loud. I can hardly hear you at all. You have to speak into the microphone and louder, sir.
Greetings. This is your brother Ogana from Philadelphia.
All right. How are you, sir?
Yes, I am doing okay, DSA. I really wanted to call into this program and really talk.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like this programs that you're doing, it's useful, but it doesn't really reflect the conversation that needs to be held on this issue.
Okay.
So you have a lot of people calling in and they're making emotional statements. Some people are angry. There's a lot going on, but it's not reflecting, the kind of quality, intelligent conversation that needs to be held on this matter. And because of this conversation that we've been having over the weeks, I've really understood I have to write a book. You've inspired me now.
Beautiful.
You've inspired me. The book has been in my mind for a while, but now, and this book is going to be on intelligence.
Yes.
And this is what I'm going to put out there for people. There are different levels of intelligence, and I'm going to put it out there so that people can think about it. There's the mundane, there's the arcane.
Yes.
There's survival, and there's the supernatural, and there's the cosmic.
Okay.
When you see a lot of people express their views on things, they always give you the survival or the mundane.
Yes.
Everybody knows that Nigeria needs change.
Yes.
Even if you're blind, you don't need anybody to give you a manifesto and tell you, oh, we need change.
Yes.
Just open your eyes and go there. I was just there for 3 weeks.
Yes.
So everybody has a general level of intelligence. That's just the mundane. Now, you are operating on a high level of intelligence. I might put it at a supernatural, right?
Okay.
So obviously, it's going to be hard for you to communicate with people who are dealing with lower levels of intelligence. That's a problem I've had all my life.
Beautiful.
I see something.
Well said.
I predicted
well
over
said.
4 or 5 years, and then over 4 or 5 years, everybody catches up to it. But this is not the reason why I called. The reason why I called is because I don't want to have this conversation in public. I wish I could have it in private with you first.
Okay.
But the things, what you're saying about Buhari, you see, Buhari is a very enigmatic figure. First of all, I do not support APC or PDP.
Okay.
Let's be clear with that.
Okay.
So I'm not in the battle. I don't have any horse in this battle because I believe that both of them are not qualified to even begin to talk about the future of Nigeria.
Right.
The issue with Buhari is this, right? I wrote a document in January of 2015, and I hope you've read it by now. It's called the 33-point guidance document. And in that document, I listed 11 reasons why Goodluck Jonathan was bad for Nigeria. I listed his achievement. I also listed 11 reasons why Buhari might perceive to be qualified. That the other 11 points, I gave this solution to the religious, political, and ethnic problem we have in Nigeria.
Okay.
This is a problem in Nigeria that most people would like to overlook and say, oh no, it's all about corruption. No, it's not about corruption. And the funny thing about what you did this week, because you came out, I saw you defending your integrity this week. You came out and you said, I don't care about you. If I don't know you and you don't want to be my friend, you can get lost. I understand where you're coming from. As a spiritual person, you're on a mission. But what I want to bring to you today is something different. We have to understand the Nigerian problem. The Nigerian problem was created like a mother who had a birth. The Nigeria was born out of, how would I say, either a premature abortion, and that problem has always been there.
Yeah, I saw. Did you see the video that a certain lawyer did? He had a great presentation on the problem of how Nigeria was created, the British and the commercial interests. Sorry?
I have not seen it, no.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen it, but I would like to see the video. But the point I'm trying to make now is that the Buhari that my father, right? My father knows Buhari personally.
Oh, okay? Wow.
And people always talk about Buhari, and the guy is a mysterious figure. Let's put it like this. Secondly, this man is going through a spiritual battle, okay? And third of all, when people say they voted for Buhari, listen to what's happened for the past 3 years in this administration. His wife, right? This is the woman he married that has children for him. This woman has come out and she has shouted 3 times that his husband is not in power. Rather, there are certain fifth column elements that have hijacked the presidency.
But is it not the same woman who campaigned for him and said is the best candidate to vote for? So don't just take out of context one statement. That's what Nigerians do. And you seem to be an intelligent man. So put all the words she said together on the context.
Okay, the context that I'm putting it inside is that the last time that this woman spoke in public, she said, how is it that in the whole Nigeria there are 2 men?
That was not the last time she spoke, my dear. You want to say the last time she spoke?
I'm saying the last statement that she made on the political
No, that was not the last statement she made on the Political. Go and check it on the YouTube. You'll see many more after that.
Hold on. Okay. Maybe it's not the last statement that she made, but she made a statement this year.
I listened to it. I can even play it to you now. So I know that statement very well.
So this statement that she made is important.
I even know the people she's talking about.
I know.
I know. So you are trying to teach the choir master.
No.
You are preaching to the choir.
I'm not trying to preach to you because a lot of people don't understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Okay, where you are is that between APC and PDP, APC is the lesser of two.
Yes.
And that's intelligence. But for me, I say there is a higher intelligence than that.
Okay.
I say between APC and PDP, none of them is better for where we're going. Now, the question you would ask me is, how can we put in what is better than what we have now? And that's where you lose me, because you keep going back to this, well, we have to do this and 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 do this. Things are happening in Nigeria. I will send you an article as soon as I get off this phone.
Okay.
In 2016, Yoruba people of the West and the people of the North, the Northern Arewa, and
yes,
not Arewa, but some group in the North and the Southeast, South, they came together and they were having protests for over 2 months. And they said, if we do not have a restructuring of Nigeria, we will not have an election. These are elites of the Yoruba people. They came out and they said, we do no longer want the system that we are running right now. The problem with Nigeria is the unitary system. The unitary system cannot overcome corruption. We have to go, and it's funny because you came out this week and you were talking about Awolowo. Awolowo performed wonderful in the Western region. Why? Because he was operating under the regional government. The regional government gave him the environment to operate and actually do wonderful things for the people. And this is where me and you depart, is our elections are no longer needed in Nigeria. We have to come and reset the button. This is where you come in, because when you talk about your program for Nigeria, I believe it. I think that you have the ability to come and change the value system. But I think before you even come in, the scientists call it epigenetics. Epigenetics is the science that says genetics does not control you. What controls genetics is the environment that you put the person inside. You cannot come and change the value system in Nigeria until you first of all rearrange the political environment. And this will definitely require that we go back to the same person that you call your hero. He operated under a regional system of government. And that's why the Western government was the most successful economic government from 1950 to the early 70s, before Nigeria started to break down. This is all I have to say for now, because
beautiful. I would like us to discuss it further one day. Thank you so very much. Blessings.
All right. Yeah.
Bye. I think we had dealt with the issue of restructuring. Can you help me find that video? Not right now, but when we finish. I would like us to give it to Joshua, to my thoughts, to do a video, my thoughts on reconstruction of Nigeria. So that, because restructuring of Nigeria, because I've already expressed my thought about that. But we need to find that video. I think we have other callers, but before then, please go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay, sir. We've been running for close to 3 hours already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know, sir. I know you've been opportune to speak at the U.S. Senate. You've been to the Japanese Parliament and even the Israeli Parliament, and you've been privileged to speak at the United Nations. Mm-hmm. So, and this must have been building you some confidence.
Yes.
So, do you still think you have this towering reputation?
This what?
This towering.
Yes,
towering reputation that took you to those places today.
It is not reputation that took me there. If it is going to be reputation, why is it that Nigerians are not going there? Why is it that the Nigerian pastors and the GOs that have reputations are not being invited to those places? It is the content of what I built in me. It is what I have built in myself. It is the foundation that I've built in myself. It is what I know that took me there. And what you are is who you are. Who you are is who you are. So what you have built in yourself always remains there. That's what makes you different. And that's why they invited me there. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is calling from where, sir?
I'm Dr. Samuel. I'm speaking from California.
Yes, sir, doctor.
DSA, that's your name, right?
Yes, sir.
I came across your video just yesterday.
Wow.
And I wish we were able to have a private conversation first before I came live, because I can hear you talking live and I'm trying to know the link. Know the topic you're speaking on.
Okay, we can arrange that sometime in future.
Okay, well, how can I follow what you're saying with the program now? Because I don't even know what you're discussing now.
Oh, right, okay. The program we're doing now is called DSA, Why Are You So Controversial? Why Are You a Troublemaker? That is
so why can I follow it now?
Oh, right, all right. Just go to my YouTube page. Just go to YouTube and look for
on your page now, YouTube actually.
Oh, okay. If you go to the home page, you will see live. There is a live button there that will show you live. So you can just go and click on that live video. That's it. Or you can come out of YouTube, come out of that page and re-enter it. Once you re-enter again, it will automatically begin to play this live one.
Okay. Well, am I free to comment briefly on the?
Yes. Or another thing you could do is you could go to Facebook and look for Dr. Sunday Adelaja as well. You will also see live there. But you can go ahead and comment, sir.
Dr. Sunday.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that we don't want to become in life.
Yes.
Which is why I raise my cap for you. So nobody wants to stand alone. Majority has been the vote, has always carried the vote from the beginning, even from Genesis chapter 3.
Yeah.
Adam didn't want to stand alone because Eve had already eaten the fruit. So Eve had herself and the serpent. And Adam didn't want to stand alone, so he compromised his faith. Now that inability to want to stand alone is why a lot of people have become gullible. Majority carry the vote. Even though we know majority is not always right. Now Jesus said, broad is that road that leads to destruction, and many are found in it.
Right.
But very narrow is the one that leads to life. I may not agree in total with everything you say.
Yes, sir.
That is being very frank and candid, because I'm not a psychopath.
Beautiful.
I may not agree in total with everything you stand for.
Right.
I may not agree in total with how vocal you are, because I followed a few of your tips.
Yes.
But I wish there are a few more voices like yours.
Wow. Amazing.
I strongly wish there are a few more voices like yours.
Wow.
Jesus said, I will give you mouth and wisdom, which means it's possible to have mouth and not have wisdom. And it's possible to have wisdom and not have mouth.
Wow.
The Church of Jesus Christ is plagued. Satan took over this church many years ago. And all we do now is make noise and make noise.
Yeah.
And make noise.
Yeah.
In Acts of the Apostles, Peter distinctly rebuked Simon or Stephen that wanted to buy the anointing with money.
Yeah.
He said, your money perish with you. But today what we hear is, let's tap the anointing, tap the grace. We can siphon the grace from our money, so we don't need God anymore. We just need to have enough money. We can buy enough grace. So like I said, I would love to truly have a one-on-one conversation with you.
Beautiful.
Now,
please just drop me a line. You know, you could just drop me a line on my inbox, and then we could connect.
I dropped my phone number. In fact, I got a number from the script today, and I've sent a WhatsApp on the number. I've called the number. I've called the number more than 30 times.
No, that number, that WhatsApp number, let me explain to you. That is the office. That is the studio. It's only used to send videos to our subscribers. But it's not my WhatsApp number. I don't use it. It's just for sending out videos. But for me, you've got to get in touch with me personally. You need to write to my inbox, Facebook inbox, or to write to which is Facebook, Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
Oh, no, it's actually better to just write. I have two. Dr. Sunday Adelaja is public. That's where I'm talking from now. But I cannot phone. You cannot phone there. Facebook doesn't have that's the call service on the public page. But on the private page, personal page, is called just Sunday Adelaja. You will see me and my wife there. So, you know, just I'm hugging my wife, just holding each other. So that's just Sunday Adelaja without the doctor. From there, we'll be able to talk or to call one another.
Because I dropped my personal number even on this page, on the group page. I mean, on this Facebook inbox, my private number. I dropped my private number here before.
Yeah, that is a telephone number, but I don't use. One thing you have to know about me is that I don't even use telephone. Can you believe it? I don't even have one. It's a policy. It's a personal policy. I don't use telephone and I don't have one. I can only talk either by Facebook Messenger. So strike me on my personal Facebook Messenger, Sunday Adelaja.
Sunday Adelaja.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will appreciate a note from you. What is the name again, so that I will remember?
I'm Dr. Salmon on Facebook and Valentine Salmon.
Okay, sir. I will wait for your message. Thank you so much.
I wish I could, because I've opened your page again on YouTube and I still can't see where I can follow this live. I need to understand the topic you're sharing today.
It's not on YouTube? We are not on YouTube? We are not on YouTube now? Why?
I think it was an error.
Wow. I'm just being told now that we are not on YouTube. I'm shocked. We are normally on YouTube, but I didn't know it. I just found out now. Sorry. But maybe
your team should do a better work, because you don't call people randomly when they don't understand the topic. You don't come live.
Yeah. All right, let's talk later on. Thank you so much.
I will reach out to you on your because I'm even on Facebook and I'm trying to see where you're live.
Dr. Sunday Adelaja is there live. We are live now on Dr. Sunday
Adelaja.
Yes.
Okay, I've opened Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
Yes, you will see it. We have other callers. Yeah. We have other callers right now, so we have to go. Thank you so much. Sure. Blessings.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, do we have other callers? Hey, what did these people do for me that they didn't put on YouTube?
I think maybe
somebody needs to be flogged. How can you make that kind of mistake? And the two of you are sitting there. No spala? T-shirt, потому что ты сейчас говоришь кому? На эфир? Кто тебя понимает? Как завжди, не заметила только через 45 лет, еще оправдываюсь. И бабуша там сидела тоже. Просто как мумии сидели. Вы не должны перестраховать друг друга. Okay, короче, звони, кто следующий, пожалуйста. Hello, do we have a caller there?
Yeah, hello. Good evening, Dr. Sunday.
Good evening,
my name is Shola and I'm calling from the UK. To start with, I was quite shocked to hear one of your panelists say, oh, the man wasn't educated. That was why he spoke like that. And that was his answer to, his heartfelt and his understanding of what is happening in Nigeria.
Yes.
I just wish he could expatiate on that, because saying somebody isn't educated isn't good enough.
Beautiful. My very argument. I agree with you absolutely, man. Do you want him to explain right now?
Oh, no. The other question is, okay, the other piece I'm worried about is, okay, yes, we've had this election, yes, Buhari has won, and yes, we had the likes of Showore and the others. That is fine. Well, my personal thinking was Showore wasn't anywhere near it, really. But there's only Buhari and Atiku. Out of the two, only Buhari is the one that we think can actually take things further. So why are people still like going backwards and thinking, oh, Buhari isn't good, isn't this, isn't that as well? Aside Buhari, what else do we have?
Well, that's exactly what makes me to think that my panelists that say that man is uneducated, my own objection to that is that they are the ones, my panelists here and the people who think like him are the ones who appear to me as uneducated, because we have just two people.
They must have gone to school, right? They've gone to school, they've read, but I only think they've only read in paper and, in high tech, but no common sense.
No common sense, because we have only two people. If it is only Buhari that is better and he won already, why are you people dragging the argument?
They're just moving backward. It's about moving backward for Nigeria. Why can't we just look forward? I was going to bring in the fact that, okay, I remember when I was younger, and I remember how they had all these Ghanaian moving into Nigeria. I was quite young, they had all this Nigeria moving into Nigeria, the Ghanaian, and I had a teacher, and then there was a time that they had to leave, my teacher had to leave, and I cried and cried, and then there came J.K. Rowling, and he did something fantastic in Ghana. Now, Ghana is a more preferable place to live. We need radicalization in Nigeria.
I agree. But when you begin this radicalization, if Buhari will begin the radicalization, he has not even begun any radicalization. Can you see what they are accusing him of? They are already calling him a dictator. What about if he begins? They are going to set Nigeria on fire, these opposition people.
Exactly. So now I come back to the question of why they say you're too vocal, you're this, you're that, you shouldn't have to speak that way. How else do we want to change Nigeria if we don't have people that are going to vocalize, that are going to actually say it right, to say, listen up, you're wrong, accept you're wrong, let the people that knows how to do things do it? Why do we always have to chicken out of everything? Why is money our savior? Why is money our master? Why is position? Just because somebody has got money, we have to be slave to them?
Because of the culture of silence. We have a plague of silence and what we call diplomacy. I'm sorry, Baye. We don't talk like that. These are elders. You don't have to wash yourself. The fear is a fear factor. It's a plague of silence that we have.
And I wanted to also point out something. The man was saying that a typical young American boy of 8 years old is using his brain, thinking about the invention that they're going to, make, what they want to do with their life. What is a 20-year-old Nigerian boy, man, thinking about?
He's looking for a job, waiting for the government to give him job.
Yeah. They want to be singers. They want to dress like American. They want to do this. They don't, use their resources. They don't use their brain. They want to be Yahoo boys. They want to be. So, how are we going to make things right? If we don't get people that is going to go there and actually stand like a soldier, like a warrior, and change things, it's not going to be changed by merely talking to people. It has to be by force.
Yeah. And that's what Jesus said, the violent take it by force.
Yes. Exactly. It has to be, because how are we going to talk about this? Guy has already spoken about people having mondial brain, having all this sort of thing. We Nigerians, we go high, we read books, we have masters, we have people that's gone to Oxford, to all of these places, and we still cannot build our father's land. It is a shame.
Thank you, man. Thank you so very much. Brilliant contribution. What a lady.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely day.
Maybe you want to answer. She challenged you.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to say anything.
Okay, you don't want to explain yourself?
I don't.
Okay, do you have any more question there for me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me share one. Come over, one.
Because
I hope I answered the last one. Or I didn't
now,
answer the right
one. End this program.
Yeah.
I know.
Did I answer the last one?
About what?
Do I still have?
You didn't. You only said that it wasn't the reputation that got you there.
Okay.
So you needed to differentiate on.
It is who I am that got me there, and I still have what I have.
You still have that reputation.
No, I have more than reputation, and what took me there is more than reputation, and it is what took me there is even better now and greater.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Pastor, are you concerned or you're afraid you could, someone could take your life through divination, enchantment, or any physical assault?
We have a caller?
Okay,
I think I will answer that question after the caller speaks.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Who is calling from where, sir?
It's Osas from Italy.
Yes, Osas. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We were issue of the politics. Now
yes.
It's getting down.
He's getting back to kingdom.
It's getting back. I just want to thank you for your good job. God thank you for everything that you are doing. The issue of the politics that just come here, we just thank God that it was peaceful. I was not so peaceful like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The issue I just have in the issue of our coming back president. He's a nice man, he's a good man. The only issue is on him. I hope that this is his last regime. My prayer for him is that he should change the cabinet. And secondly, especially the cabinet he have right now, if he continue with it, we are not going anywhere. We must tell ourselves the truth. Because first of all, even that period I was not around, because I heard it from the right source. Even that period was not around. It was have a treatment going on
in England.
In England, even there is many before they gave power to the vice president. There is no issue the vice president will send. Even the chief of staff will not answer the vice president. You understand? That is the issue we have in it. For me, if his body was so harder as before, I would have preferred him. If he can say he can come back for the second, third tenure, I would have preferred him. But for now, we must tell ourselves the truth. Buhari is nowhere. It's no, I don't know, because I can call it as old age is inside and
yeah, we are going backward now. That is already done now. He's already elected, so there is nothing we can do about it.
That is already done. What I'm trying to say, what we are trying to work on it. If it's Buhari, if he's ready to move Nigeria forward, he's not coming back to enrich his family or to make his family happy. The only advice I would tell him is to try and be careful, especially in cabinet.
I agree.
Especially in cabinet, in personal assistant, chief of staff. First of all, you should move chief of staff out of that office, because chief of staff have keep many things that Nigeria does not even know what is going on. I remember the issue of disabled bill. We were refused to pass. You believe me that if Buhari don't even know that that is not the signature is not in the paper, is not in his office, or the extent that the Buhari was the president was think that maybe is in the government.
You know, we can only wish. You know what you are saying now is what you wish, what I wish, but it's not hearing. So let's waste time on that. Let's just go ahead and wish and pray that God will help him to pick the right cabinet.
Yeah. We are still continuing to say we are in social media. We don't know we share it to get to you. Yeah, we don't know which one I will get to. That's only the issue. If it is that he's coming back to rescue that country, what we have belonged to, because I don't think so, because the rate of people that are crossing to that APC, well, we don't. The only thing I want to advise, we should forget about the president who is already there. We should pray to Nigeria and we should work on it. So Nigeria should try. We should try this system of voting Nigeria. If we are continuing to vote the way we are voting Nigeria, we cannot get a right person that will rule that country.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that's the only thing to conclude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Okay, the question you ask is, am I afraid? Can you say it again?
Yeah, I want to know if you're concerned because you've talked about religious cabals.
Yes.
You've touched many things. Mm-hmm. So from politics to religion, I'm sure a lot of people are already offended.
Yes.
Okay. So are you afraid for your life? Are you concerned that someone might try to hurt you through divination, enchantment, or even physical assault?
Oh yeah. I'm not concerned about that at all. First of all, the weakest of those options are divination and enchantment and witchcraft. That one is the one I'm more. In fact, I don't even pray about that one. That one is not existed for me. For me, I am hidden in Christ. That's number one. Number two, I come from above. And I'm above all those principalities and powers. Number three, it's an insult to my intelligence and to the God that I believe in, that divination, witchcraft, and shams could have an effect on me. It's an insult on God. It's an insult on my belief. And it's an insult on the Bible. I don't even believe. For me, Satan is running the opposite direction when I show up. Principalities and powers and wishes, they leave town when I come. Talk less of them trying to hurt me. They have already lost over and over again. They know who I am. In fact, it's an insult for me to even pray about that. That's why I will challenge anybody that is watching us to go and watch my videos. I have a whole series of videos called Deliverance Series, or Prayer, Healing, and Deliverance Series. I've already made that point many times, so I will not go back to that. Then, am I concerned that I could be hurt physically? Oh yeah, I'm going to Nigeria to die. My plan is to go to Nigeria to die. I am not going to Nigeria to survive or to live. I am going to Nigeria to die. And that death could come through physical assault also. It could come through gun. It could come through government. It could come through arrest. It could come through any way. But that's exactly my plan. I am going there for two things. I'm going there, first of all, to restore the country, to make sure that the country is resolved. And in the process, I'm ready to die. You can see what I'm doing. Only a dead man can do what I'm doing. And only a man that is not afraid of death that can do what I'm doing. So you have to be ready to die to do what I'm doing. And I am the first candidate. I'm not going to be like Ojukwu that ran away when it became challenging, or like Nnamdi Kanu that disappeared to Israel. No. I'm going to stand and put my life online if necessary, just to save Nigeria, if that is what it takes. But there's one occasion, yes? No, the way. So I've said it before. I even have a video on it that I'm ready to die for Nigeria. I'm ready to give my life for Nigeria. Unfortunately, so many people were coming back to me after I said that, and in the comments, writing.
You say you will not die in Jesus' name.
They said I will not die in Jesus' name. That's number one. But they are saying that no, Nigeria is not worth it to die for. That you don't know Nigeria. They will not appreciate it. Don't die for Nigeria and things like that. Yes, I also know that some people died for Nigeria and Nigeria never appreciated it. Delegiwa, Abiola, Fawemi, Bola Ige. A lot of people died for the country and Nigeria didn't appreciate them. But I'm not doing it for Nigeria. I'm doing it for the will of God. As long as I'm in the process of doing the will of God, anything like that happens, I'm ready and I'm happy. Do we have a caller?
Hello, caller. Good evening. Do we have a caller? Hello.
Okay, I think they will. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is calling, please, from where?
My name is Israel Gunis Balogun. I'm calling from Lagos.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Yes, we are happy to hear from you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me first appreciate Mr. Tope for his boldness to ask some questions.
Yeah, actually,
then,
with Mr. Tope, I'm even actually planning to beg him to keep on coming. I want to even make it constant with him to have such a program constantly, because he seems to have an idea and understanding of the Nigerian mind, and he thinks to be he knows where most people are thinking, where people in Nigeria are thinking from. So people like this, they are an asset, and I want to keep on having this kind of debate and panel with him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tope. I really appreciate that. Most people that follow me say most times they have the kind of question in their mind. They want to like swallow it. Not so that they think they will be thinking maybe DSA, maybe they think they are not sincere followers. So many of them want to swallow their questions and then say whatever and agree to whatever DSA says every time. But with this kind of intelligent questions you have been asking and that have been answered, it has also resolved some of these questions in the mind of the people.
Beautiful.
Yes, two things I want to talk about is about church. Everybody is talking about politics, about the glory, imagine and all stuff. Fine, good. But I'm also concerned about the church. And I want to say emphatically that what has brought Nigerian church to where it is today was because no one was speaking.
Yeah.
The silence of the plague of the silence took over the church, and then the church found herself in this mess.
Right.
At the early stage of church in Nigeria, when things were just coming up, when the righteousness messages on the pulpit and the true scriptural messages were being preached, Nigeria was doing fine economically in every sphere. But suddenly, when the message shifted, the religion believed the honor is now being given to he that can pay the better money. The one that has the nice car is the one that being honored. These are the things that led the church into preaching heresy, and then the church became rich. Now don't forget, the time the church was preaching the right messages, what we know about the church, there is a saying in Yoruba then, they say, Oto should be a relationship. That is, you are as poor as the rats in the church. Because the rat in the church cannot even find anything to eat. No biscuit that will be left behind. But because the church was poor really in terms of money, but in terms of societal values, in terms of progress in our society, there was a vivid contribution of the church to development of the society.
Wow.
In those days, when a Christian tell you this is 10 naira, don't check it, this is 10 naira.
Right.
When a Christian man tell you this thing is original, do not go further. Believe it there is original. But today, the contrary is the issue. When a Christian tell you today this is original, particularly when you see them on green apron, go and recheck.
Wow.
That is exactly what has taken over. And why we got ourselves in this point was because no one was speaking. Everyone fold their hand. I don't want to criticize anybody. You don't criticize the church. Don't fight the church. You cannot win. You can't conquer them. You can't do this. When I said, Mr. Lopez asked a question, he said, the church has faced persecutions since over 2019 years ago. And then he said, but the church has never died. Now, the church will never die. But at every stage when the church faced persecution, something happened to the church. There is a purification that came out of the church. Every time. And the persecution that the church has ever faced, you will not kill the church. Rather, he has always made the church better. How? Because the church that faced persecution always face persecution against the lies that exist within the church. Come to the day of Martin Luther King. He was fighting the things that are killing the church, and when he was able to win that fight, the church became better. So this movement is not about killing the church. It's about purifying the church. And that is exactly why I think this, what God has started, is going to be a lead to a next level for Nigeria churches. Now, second thing I want to say about politics in Nigeria is this. The truth of the matter is, Nigeria didn't find themselves where we find ourselves today. What we are reaping today is as a result of the misgovernance of the society for the past 20 years, 16 years ago. It's a result of how the nation was governed for 16 years and our resources have been squandered. That is what led us to this. And then now that we are reaping it, what we have eaten the morning meal, afternoon meal, night meal. We have consumed everything at a time.
We have even consumed the future of our children.
In fact, the seed that was supposed to sow, we have eaten it. Now that there's nothing more to eat, everybody is feeling hunger. But thank God for the man that came on board. I do say, and I'm saying this, anybody may not believe it. If Buhari has not taken power when he did, Nigeria may be at war right now.
Yeah.
Because this hardship is inevitable. It's inevitable. Every economical expert has predicted, and they have said the the country is going to face a lot of problems. Buhari wanted to be, there is what I call pragmatism and puritanism. Buhari wanted to be pure in the political spheres. So for like almost 12 years, he stayed away from any political corrupt or assuming corrupt people. He was campaigning on his own. He did not win. Until he accommodated some people that he called corrupt so that he can help him to win the position. That is the truth. He was campaigning on his own. He said, no, I don't want corrupt people around me. I don't want Steve. I don't want that. He was only winning 6 million votes, 12 million, 6 million votes in his own northern part. But until he accommodated under assuming corrupt people, now pragmatism of politics has brought him to power. That is what our own younger generation lacks.
Wow.
You understand that there's a pragmatism differentiating it from puritanisms.
Wow.
You can't be say, I want to be poor, I want to be pure, I want to be pure. And the state of the political system in Nigeria today, you can't run away from these evil ones.
Wow.
Exactly why, and I want to say, and one thing also, sir, I want to also say, which I personally will not, I think Buhari is doing wrong. Or let me say Buhari, let me say the party APC is doing wrong. But the day you cross from PDP to APC, you are saint. If you are a thief in PDP yesterday, if you join APC tomorrow, you become a saint. That also, if they are hearing this, they have to correct it. Thank you very much, sir.
Wow. You are a super intelligent guy. Thank you so much, Israel. All right. I think, I'm sure you have asked your last question. No, we'll continue next week. We'll continue next weekend. What will you?
Yep. Well, what can I say? Just a very. I was here as an observer, and it was great getting all of these questions. And just like what Mr. Israel said from Lagos, Nigeria, I'm giving appreciation to Tope for asking those questions. I also want to give my appreciation to Tope for asking all of those questions. Well, these are questions that sincerely that I wouldn't even think about, or most of us who are here might not understand. But I'm sure those questions are there. Exactly. Yeah. So these are the questions that Nigerians are asking, and Dr. Sunday needs to also give answers to them. And I'm appreciating Tope. Thank you so much for it. And also I'm appreciating all our viewers who have been with us for over 3 hours now. We want to give our apologies to YouTube viewers who couldn't join us today due to some technical issues. And we also like to encourage those of you who have not shared that you should please go ahead and share. For those of you who are not aware, there is the History Makers training that is always held here with Dr. Sunday, and the next one would be on the 8th to the 12th of April. So just mark that date down, 8th to the 12th of April, and this HMT will be dedicated on systems, on how to build systems, how to build structures for national transformation. So if you would like to take advantage of the HMT, you could go to sundayadelajablog.com/HMT. You're going to see a form there where you can fill to join us here in Ukraine. And if you have questions and you want to make inquiries about the History Makers training, you can write to us at hmt@godembassy.org, hmt@godembassy.org. And also, as you can see right close to me is the latest book written by Dr. Sunday, that is Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. Well, we're in a season where we need this book more than ever before. So this book is right now on promo up until Monday. You could get this book for $3 right now. So I would like you to please, if you've not gotten this book, please go ahead and make a pre-order for this book. You can get it on Amazon. The title of this book, once again, is Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. Well, from me, I want to say thank you once again for joining us today on this platform. My name is Anu Ojo, and it's always a pleasure. Over to Dr. Sunday.
Yes, I also want to say the second book that is there, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, will be one of the most wonderful blessings you ever experience. No matter how bad your mood is, by the time you read that book, you will come alive. Even if you hate Nigeria, by the time you read that book, you will wish you become a Nigerian. So go get it on Amazon as well. And I want to say today I'm starting my new series. Yeah, we are starting a new series today.
Yeah.
Today I'm starting a series on the church. And I'm going to be preaching on how to know God through the church. And from today till the end of March, I'm going to be talking for the whole month on how to know God through the church. So I will come back in the next 10 minutes.
Pastor Sunday, I really want to say a big thank you for the opportunity you've given to me to come and ask all of these questions about the church, about Nigeria, even about your personal life. And the fact that you were able to indulge me. I know a lot of people would not find this funny. Not a lot of people can really indulge someone to ask tough questions like this. I presume those questions were not so easy. So I really want to thank you, and I want to say a big thank you to all the viewers from all across the globe, and for Dr. Anu for always being there as a friend and a brother, and everybody behind the cameras and the whole team. Thank you, and God bless you.
I want to say, you have to take the challenge. I'm throwing you a challenge to keep on coming up with such questions. Prepare them, because I've done questions with atheists and agnostics, and there are even much more tougher questions. So, but these are questions that are really in my heart, not like the atheist questions. Those questions they are not my passion. But these ones, I want my people to get answers.
Yes, I ask the questions not because I want to constitute myself as an opposition to your views and disposition, but because I understand that this is how a lot of Nigerians think, and this is their perception of your
That's why I'm commending.
Actions.
That's why I'm commending and welcoming them, and I'm saying get them ready, and I'm ready to do them every weekend like this.
Maybe not every weekend, because I will not always have the questions every weekend, but as soon as I have a handful of them, then I can book an appointment, a date with you, so we can have a broadcast.
Well, I know that when you just came, you had a whole list of them, and bring them up. Bring them up.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody. I will be back in the next 10 minutes with the new series, How to Know God Through the Church. Peace.
Thank you.